It is the Knicks' first back-to-back game of the season. I'm very interested to see how they come out and play tonight against the lowly Wizards, the feisty lowly Wizards. But let's get into the show. What is poppin', my people? We are back once again to late witness to the New York Knicks taking on the Washington Wizards here tonight. And the Knicks are coming off probably their most complete game of the season against the Chicago Bulls, a game in which the offense was fully realized, knocking down 23s against the Chicago Bulls. Now tonight they're taking on the lowly, all the way down here, Washington Wizards. But do not overlook this Wizards team. They got some young pieces. They're not going to be a good team this year. They're going to be in the lottery once again, aiming for a high pick, aiming to win the lottery in what is supposed to be a stacked draft. But the Washington Wizards do have some feisty young guys who are taking a step, which we will obviously get to. Guys like Kaishan George, guys like Alex Sarr. They got the veterans like CJ McCollum, like Chris Middleton, and all of the things. So I will tell you, while the Washington Wizards are only 1-4 on the season, do not overlook these Washington Wizards because they are in most of the games they play. Now, the Knicks will end up winning this game here tonight. At least they should, even though they are in the second night of a back-to-back. James Sumler, Big Rud, Darnell, appreciate y'all. What's popping, my guys? Keith Modeste, Jay Hammer, Mark, of course, Justice's dad. I appreciate y'all as always. The Knicks are on the second night of a back-to-back, so that is something going against our Knicks here tonight. But do not overlook this Washington Wizards team, who I believe also played last night, so both teams on the second night of a back-to-back, so it should be about equal. The Knicks, in the midst of their 7-game homestand, the largest, I think, in franchise history, ties the largest in franchise history. Big Roots at zero excuses, stomp these fellas. Absolutely. Here's the thing. Don't freak out when it's a close game at halftime. Don't freak out when it's a close game halfway through the third quarter, but at some point, late in the third or early in the fourth, or at some point in the fourth, the Knicks will pull away and probably pick up a double-digit victory. Like I said, this Washington Wizards team, they played the Thunder pretty close. They did get smoked by the Orlando Magic. Sometimes young teams like this are just going to throw up a bunch of stinkers. But we got to realize that this Washington Wizards team, they can get hot. They got guys like Trey Johnson, who obviously we're going to get to. Kaishan George shooting it well. You got CJ McCollum. You got Chris Middleton. Maybe one of those bets wake up here tonight. But none of it should really matter because at the end of the day, we're going to start where we always start, with the captain, Jalen Brunson, who in that Chicago game sensed where the Knicks organization was, where his team was, and where the fan base was. And he said, I got y'all. Let me throw up a masterclass real quick in this first quarter, get us off to a right start, and I'm going to make sure we pull out this game here tonight. Speaking of last night, when the Knicks took on the Chicago Bulls, because that's what the captain does, right? My man is averaging over 30 points per game this year in a year in which I think we all kind of fairly thought Jalen Brunson's averages should probably come down a little because of the egalitarian sort of movement and scoring and shot attempts that I think we were all expecting coming to the year. And Jalen Brunson said, now, don't worry about it. I'm still me. I'm still going to get mine. I'm not going to be on ball all the time, but that doesn't mean the shot attempts go down, just like Monica McNutt said the other night. Don't misrepresent the fact that I'm not on the ball with the fact that I'm not taking the same amount of shots I'm always going to take because I am the captain of the Knicks, Jalen Brunson, superstar point guard here in the Eastern Conference. So, JB is still doing his thing, and best believe he will continue to do his thing tonight. Obviously, last year put up a 50 ball against this Washington Wizards team. So I expect him to not put up a 50 ball or even a 40 ball because I don't think we'll necessarily need it. But I expect everybody to cook here tonight. Phil, what's up, Phil? Appreciate you. We get over to Karl Anthony Towns. Obviously, the second star on this team. The stats aren't necessarily where you want them to. particularly the scoring, which we went through, but he did have a really nice night the other night against Chicago and seems to be bouncing back after the bad Milwaukee game. He should have a very successful night here tonight. Obviously, without Mitchell Robinson, he'll get the start at center, so he's going to rack up a bunch of rebounds going up against guys like Alex Sarr and Marvin Bagley, really the only two bigs on this team. So expect the big night from Karl-Anthony Towns doing his thing against this Wizards team who has no options or no recourse to go up against and guard him. So I'm expecting a big night from Karl-Anthony Towns. This should be a Karl-Anthony Towns night. We get over to OG Anunoby, who he's probably gonna get the start on Kaishan George, who's 6'8", so you want a big wing on him. OG Anunoby is going to get the start on Kaishan George. In my opinion, I would believe so, and you'd probably put Mikal Bridges on CJ McCollum. But with OG starting on Kaishan George, similar wingspan. Kaishan George coming off of a little bit of a bad game against the Orlando Magic. Pretty much everybody played bad in that game for the Wizards. OG Anunoby will be locked down on the second-year guy who seems to be making a bit of a leap, but he's going to now garner some of the best defenders in the league to be on him, and OG Anunoby should be locking down Kaishan George tonight. And if he doesn't, Kaishan George might be the real deal. Very good start on the season for him, but of course, we'll get there. We get over to Mikal Bridges, and he tied a career high with 9 assists the other night against Chicago. Mikal Bridges continues to be, along with Jalen Brunson, the most consistent player on this team. I mean, whether it's scoring, he only scored 10 points the other night, but he racked up the 9 assists. The rebounding is up, the assists are up, the turnovers remain down, less than 1 a game. The blocks and the steals are up from last season. The shooting percentages are up across the board. Obviously, the 48% from three-point range will come down at some point because you're not going to go through the rest of the year shooting damn near 50% from three. But Mikal Bridges continues to be an absolute stud in this offense. He knows exactly what is needed from him, and on a night-to-night basis changes up the things he is doing, whether it's scoring, stretching it out to three, being a slasher, or, like last night, feeding his teammates with assist after assist after assist. He's been very good and very consistent for this team. Mr. Invisible Mikal Bridges no more. Mr. Invisible no more. We can retire the nickname. We can maybe give it over to somebody else this season. But hopefully nobody deserves it. We get over to Mitchell Robinson, who is not playing tonight. We knew this. It's the second night of a back-to-back. So we knew Mitch he's not going to play second night of back-to-backs in the NBA, or in this season, I should say. Nor do I expect him to, nor do I want him to. So he is out tonight. He had a pretty good game against Chicago. The second time around, which was nice, but with Mitchell Robinson back healthy, he did roll the ankle a little bit, so he should be perfectly fine going into the game after this, but he is out here tonight. We knew this. We knew this coming in. We get over to big Josh Hart. Josh Hart is active tonight. Thank you, Mark. Absolutely. Josh Hart, we know, will play through injury. He does not want to get the hand surgery yet. He figured it's much easier to play adjusting to the pain rather than adjusting to a post-surgery sort of situation with less time in the regular season. So we get Josh Hart, and Josh Hart with a nice big old bounce back game. 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Josh Hart, big bounce back game. And like I said last year, I don't want to see 40 minutes from Josh Hart. I want to see 25, right? Because that's when I think Josh Hart can be most effective with his hustle, his heart, his energy, all of the things that Josh Hart brings. That's when I think he can be most effective. And he proved that last night with a very efficient, very effective game in the minutes that he got. Still played about 25 minutes. So, big Josh Hart on the way. Hopefully he can build on last night's game and continue to show the things that we have always been looking for with Josh Hart. We get over to Deuce McBride, my man, Miles Deuce McBride. Yes, sir. Very interesting that Deuce is not getting the start tonight. Landry Shamet is getting the start tonight, and so much so that I think I'm going to have to make a Landry Shamet player graphic. I thought he was going to be the odd man out of the rotation. It looks like Gershon Yabusele is going to be the odd man out of the rotation as of right now. But Deuce McBride is not going to be in the starting lineup tonight. That was my guess as to who was going to replace Mitchell Robinson. But instead, it will be Landry Shamet. But Deuce McBride, don't get it twisted, is still probably the sixth man of the team. Him and Josh Hart will be sharing that role majority of the year. Obviously, the guy who is playing the best in the moment will get the most minutes, but both of those guys will hover between 20 to 25 minutes a night, and that's because they're just so goddamn effective off the bench. Deuce McBride, after missing a couple of games with some personal reasons, 11 points per game for him so far on the year with some fantastic shooting overall. Obviously, the field goal percentage isn't really there. Anything inside the arc isn't really going down for him right now. But the three-point shooting, the thing that is most valuable to Deuce McBride and this team, is going down for him. So we know what Deuce is capable of doing, and hopefully he continues to play well here tonight. Get over to Gershon Yabusele, and boy, oh boy, does it look like Gershon Yabusele is going to find himself out of the rotation as of right now. So I'm going to kind of swap him for the next Knicks game with Landry Shamet, because Shamet has been great. Like Mark said, Landry Shamet has been fantastic so far to start the year. Shooting the lights out of the ball. He's playing extremely well in this offense. His movement, his player movement, the fact that he can shoot it off of movement has been necessary for this team in order for them to generate good open looks. The combination of Mikal Bridges and Deuce McBride, I think, have been absolutely fantastic in terms of their movement around the perimeter to generate open shots. Mark also pointing out his defense. His defense has also been very good. I find myself talking about Landry Shamet over the Gershon Yabusele graphic because Yabusele only played 2 minutes in the last game against Chicago. And after the game, when asked about it, Coach Mike Brown indicated that he might be the odd man out. He said, I could probably stretch it and get the rotation up to 10 men and play him around 10 to 12 minutes a night. But doesn't seem worth it, does not seem valuable as of right now, but he needs to stay ready because we will need him as the season goes on. Not like he was burning the doors down anyway. My man did not start off the year the correct way, and he's kind of not getting punished, but this is, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. It is an adjustment, obviously, but you go over to a guy like Jordan Clarkson, who obviously did not start the year well off all that well, but the other night against Chicago showed his worth, showed exactly why you went out and you signed Jordan Clarkson, because he can win you a game all by himself. Not that he won the Chicago game by himself, but came out off the bench, led the bench in scoring 15 points off the bench for Jordan Clarkson, who looks to be getting a lot more comfortable in this offense, wearing a Knicks uniform. The shot's starting to go down a little bit more, so very interested to see if a guy like Jordan Clarkson can continue his good play here coming into a lowly Washington situation. You should be able to see him cook going up against the bench unit of the Wizards. Paul Dog NYC, what's up, Paul? Ernest Cash, Russell Field, appreciate y'all, appreciate y'all. Now we get over to the Washington Wizards, and boy, oh boy, am I kind of excited to talk about the Wizards. Kaishan George, 6'8", 21, former Knicks draft pick that was traded on draft night for Bakum Didier, by the way. Guess the Knicks made the wrong choice in which forward to keep, because Kaishan George is leading this Wizards team right now and seems like the guy who is going to extend himself to be an actual real deal NBA player, let alone NBA starter or maybe even possible star. At 21 years old, he still obviously has all-star potential in him, but so far this year, he's gotten off to a red-hot rocket start, 18.3 points per game, 7.8 rebounds per game for Kaishan George to start, which is obviously the most important kind of stat when you're a wing. Not the most important, but a very important stat when you're a wing in the league. You don't want to be one of those 6'8" wings who can't rebound the ball at all. 8 rebounds per game also shows that he is not afraid to mix it up, get down low, and snag some big old rebounds. And at 6'8", very important to see that from him at an early age. Also, 4.5 assists is also really important. Now, the 3.3 turnovers is terrible with 4.5 assists. Almost a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, about 4.5 to 3.5. But, when you're a young player, you will take the mistakes as long as he's learning to do this right here, because this will eventually start to dwindle a little bit down as he learns what's a good pass and what's a bad pass and what the defense is waiting for you to do and how to manipulate defenses and whatnot. But the star of the show for Kaishan George is obviously this number right here. It will come down. He's not going to shoot over 50% from three-point range. He's off to a red-hot start. But Kaishan George at 50% to start the year from three-point range is exactly what the Wizards wanted to see. They wanted to see some confidence from Kaishan George. They wanted to see his ability to knock down shots in a variety of situations, whether it's off the catch, whether it's off the dribble, whether it's off a movement or whatever. Either way, Kaishan George is making a splash from the perimeter, and they needed somebody from the perimeter to start to get it going in terms of one of their young core pieces, right? George is taking a big step in his second year as a creator. Stats up across the board for George, who is off to a hot start. Now, will he be able to continue it? I do think the stats will be there, but the percentages will come down. The turnovers will probably remain somewhat around 3, and we'll see if he'll be able to keep up the playmaking and the rebounding as well as the season goes on. Foongpei, what's up, Foongpei? We get over to CJ McCollum And he's up here. I'm going to give respect to C.J. McCollum and guys like Chris Middleton because they are the wily vets on this team. Now, while they are past their primes, McCollum is clearly now on the downside of his career, averaging 14 points per game, which is a far cry of what he averaged last year at 20 plus. Obviously, it did not lead to a whole lot of winning for him last year, but still was able to get buckets when called upon. And with Kaishan George taking a step up, it seems like C.J. McCollum is obviously very willing, as a guy who knows he's not going to win anything on this Wizards team, to feel like, okay, take the reins, Kaishan George. Go ahead, take the reins. Foongpei said, I slapped you like due to your fashion prowess and your culinary abilities. Appreciate you, Foongpei. Appreciate you. CJ is a veteran leader for this young team, but his better days are very clearly behind him. The percentages are down across the board. Turnovers are there. The assists aren't really there anymore. 3.7 rebounds as an undersized guard. 4.2 points per game is obviously a lot lower than where he was last year. Yeah, he's on the downside of his career. If he does ever get to play for a good team or a contender again, it'll obviously be as a reserve player, which is a good spot to be at for C.J. McCollum, who has made a lot of money throughout his career. Get over to Alex Sarr. I thought Chris Middleton was next, but instead we get to Alex Sarr, who was off to a pretty good start himself. He improved on all of the areas you really wanted to see him improve. Sarr is taking a step up with efficiency to start the year, which is the biggest area improvement for him. He was sub 40% as a big man last year, and if you listen to a lot of Wizards content creators, what they would describe Alex Sarr's rookie year was, he was essentially a 7-foot shooting guard, and they meant that derogatorily and not as a compliment, the way you can maybe compliment Wemby by saying he's a 7'6" shooting guard. But even Wemby has now taken himself more seriously as a big man and started taking guys down low and stopped settling for a lot of these jump shots. Similar with Alex Sarr, it's helped improve his field goal percentage. It's also helped improve his three-point percentage. I think the three-point percentage will come down eventually from 40%, or maybe it won't. We'll see how real the shooting is with the consistency over the course of a long season. But Sarr up to 17 points per game, and this number right here is very important to see rise, and it has risen from where he was last year, 8.5 rebounds per game. Like I said, playing a lot closer to the basket and being a lot more of a big man. The blocks are still there. The defense is still there for Alex Sarr as he gets bigger and stronger and continues to learn with more experience. Very good start to the year for Alex Sarr. Now we get over to Bilal Coulibaly. Man, I really pulled Chris Middleton down really far here. But now we get to Bilal Coulibaly, and unfortunately for Coulibaly, I don't have the nice things to say about him the way I did for Kaishan George and for Alex Sarr. But Coulibaly has only played a couple of games. This is only his third game of the year, I believe. He only played 2 games before this. He appears to be more of the same, which is a disappointment for a team that was banking on his development. 13 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. Not bad numbers, but they're not really the step that I think the Wizards were hoping he would take in year 4 here. I believe it's year 4 for Bilal Coulibaly. Maybe year 3, but either 3 or 4 here. A steal per game, 2 blocks. The defense is still there for him. I think they want to see him maybe take a step offensively, but the ball handling and the creativity isn't all the way there for Bilal Coulibaly, as his percentages from the field and from the perimeter are taking a huge hit this year, 22% from 3. Like I said, only played 2 games so far, so all of this, take it with a grain of salt. 40% from the field, but still showed signs of him continuously struggling to shoot the ball from the perimeter. Obviously, if you want to be a perimeter player, he has the size to be a perimeter player. You have to be able to shoot the ball from the perimeter with some level of consistency, and this is just not going to cut it. Now we get over to Chris Middleton, the wily vet. Chris Middleton is 34, past his prime and coming off of major injuries. He's still very skilled, but he struggles with quickness, and athleticism will overwhelm him. Obviously, he's much older, can't play the way he used to play, can't guard the way he used to guard, but he's still extremely skilled, still has the ability to do all of that. Rob Jaworski, Knicks on NYC, Hattie, appreciate y'all, welcome. Chris Middleton so far in the year, 11.3 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 2.2 assists. Obviously, stats are going to be down across the board as he ages out of the league at some point at 34 years old with major injuries. Doesn't have a ton of time left for Chris Middleton, but he still is valuable with his veteran leadership and the experiences that he has, winning a championship alongside Giannis. 48% from the field, 41% from three-point range. Like I said, the skill is still there. It's just not going to be able to do it with consistency on a night-to-night basis the way he used to. You get the Bub Carrington, and similar to Koulibaly, I don't have the nice things to say about Bub Carrington the way I did about Sarr and Kaishan George as one of the core 4 young guys, or might be even more than that with Trey Johnson coming up. But Bub Carrington, the point guard they took last year, now in his second year, is coming off the bench this season for C.J. McCollum and for Bilal Koulibaly, who gets to start in his place. 7 points per game for Bub Carrington, 4 boards, 3.5 assists, and obviously less playing time, but only 32% from the field. He is shooting 43% from three-point range on low volume, but Carrington is off to a slow start and has seen his minutes slash with the arrival of McCollum. Now, it could be a good thing in the long run for Bub Carrington to sit on the bench and learn a little bit more from a veteran like McCollum, even if McCollum is on the downside of his career, just because the decision-making, the shooting, the work ethic just doesn't seem there for Bub Carrington. Maybe not the work ethic. That's going a little bit too far. But the other things for sure, but Bub Carrington off to a slow start when it seemed like maybe, just maybe, at some point last year, people felt like maybe the Wizards found their point guard of the future in Bub Carrington. Does not seem so right now as confidence is starting to wane with Carrington's development. You get over to Corey Kispert. At this point, Corey Kispert is a veteran on this team. He's been around for a couple of years now with the Wizards, the longest tenured Wizard here. He's just a solid perimeter player. Kispert is a three-point marksman. That's it. He's a great off-ball mover, but if you stick close to him, you can almost entirely neutralize his game. Can't really dribble at all. Isn't going to run any pick and roll. Kind of like Landry Shamet, but is just sticking around this Wizard organization. He would be really valuable to a team that needs his abilities. Isn't great on this Wizards team because they don't really have a ton of creators or can run a ton of offense where a lot of attention is attracted elsewhere, and it could lead to a guy like Corey Kispert getting open or being able to move off ball to get open. So Corey Kispert is bound to be traded somewhere, and then for everybody to be like, whoa, where did Corey Kispert go? But as of right now, playing on a Wizards team, his talents are kind of wasted just because he doesn't really have any on-ball abilities. The defense isn't really very good, probably a little below average, even with his size at 6'6", should be a little bit better than that. But, when you play on a bad Wizards team, maybe there's not a ton of reason to play super hard. But we'll see. We'll see for Corey Kispert. At some point, the Wizards should cash their chips in on Kispert's development and just trade him to a winning franchise because I'm sure there have been a lot of calls for the services of Kispert. Kispert is Shaman with less defensive abilities. Yeah, that's pretty accurate, Rob. Pretty accurate. Trey Johnson is the last guy here to talk about. Trey Johnson is the prize rookie for the Washington Wizards this season. He is a 6'6", kind of guard wing. Obviously, you can see how skinny he is as a rookie, as a young man. Needs to fill out a little bit more in order to play on the perimeter here in the NBA. He's going to struggle with a lot of strength, a lot of physicality here in the league. 12.7 points per game so far to start his rookie year, which is not bad coming off the bench. 3.3 rebounds, 1.7 assists. You're not going to see a whole lot of these other intangible stuff, but the scoring is probably going to be there with him for majority of the year because he can do this right here. Shooting 34% from three-point range, but he will get those shots up. Unlike a guy like Corey Kispert, Trey Johnson can shoot off the bounce, can run a little pick and roll, can put the ball in his hands a little bit. Like I said, he's still going to struggle a bit with physicality in the league, so you don't want it too often, but can shoot off movement, can shoot off the bounce, can shoot off the catch. The three areas that are most important for an NBA shooter are those three. Is the ability to shoot in those three different ways. The versatility is very important as a shooter. Can't just be a catch and shoot guy. Can't just be an off the bounce guy. Can't just be a catch and shoot guy. You have to be able to do all three to be a legit NBA shooter. And so far, to start his rookie year, Trey Johnson has shown the ability to do all three of those. Rudy Riazzi, what's up, Rudy? So Trey Johnson off to a pretty good start so far this year in his rookie season. But that's going to wrap it up here for the pregame. There is one guy I really thought about maybe putting here for player graphic, and that was Cam Whitmore. The reason why I didn't do Cam Whitmore, there's another guy I could do in like Marvin Bagley, but I don't have a lot to say about Marvin Bagley, nor do I think it's that important that we go through a sort of scattering report of Marvin Bagley and what his season's going on so far. It's Marvin Bagley. He's not really a rotation big in the league right now, but on a bad Wizards team, he's getting rotation minutes because they're a bad Wizards team. He's backing up Alex Sarr, and it's really the only other big that they haven't on the team, and that's why he's playing. But The other guy I thought about putting on that ultimately I decided against, and I'll tell you why, is Cam Whitmore. And the reason why I decided against it is because I'm not entirely sure how invested the Wizards are in Cam Whitmore. He is reminding me a lot of when the Knicks traded for Cam Reddish. It was just like, hey, it's a buy low situation for a guy who was a top 5 recruit coming out of high school and maybe just given the opportunity, because obviously Cam Whitmore went to the Houston Rockets and didn't have a ton of opportunity to play because they had a ton of other young players, and then eventually they got really good and they didn't have the ability to play him all that many minutes. So if we swing for the fences on Cam Whitmore here as the Wizards and give him opportunity, can he shine? And, he's going to get minutes tonight. He is going to play. He's a guy I just elected not to ultimately make a graphic for because I don't know how much longer he's going to last with Washington, with all of the things kind of surrounding it. Kind of seems a little bit like a head case, and at some point, I think the Washington Wizards will move on from him in order to give guys like maybe Carrington, like Trey Johnson, like Kaishan George, more of the opportunity at the wing spot. Keith Modeste, what's up, Keith? Is John the marketing with all that internal problem? Hattie said you don't even got a graphic, son. I really thought about it, and I was like this close to doing it. I was like, just make the graphic, and then you can run through it real quick. But I was like, I just don't, I don't believe, I see him a lot as Cam Thomas. But in the sense that, like, they play basketball kind of just for themselves. Does not play a team brand of basketball, and maybe that's, I don't know, that's valuable to some team that just needs the ability to sell tickets and a highlight guy. But I'm just not super confident in Cam Whitmore's ability to play winning basketball. And with the Wizards, hopefully at some point looking to turn the corner, I'm not sure that Cam Whitmore is a part of the solution. Chi-Chi, what's up, Chi-Chi? Ja for Brunson, let's get it done. Brother, what? Ja Morant is trash. He's not even on the same level as Jamal Murray. Like, I'd have Jamal Murray before I have Ja Morant. What have the Grizzlies done? Get Chi-Chi out of here. Brother, Chi-Chi, what are you doing, dog? Go to 2K. Just load up 2K. I know you just want to see these other guys play. Just load up 2K, Chi-Chi. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Nixon said Ja for Kolek? Yeah, that makes more sense. Bro, I'm not even sure I'd be willing to give up Brunson for Giannis. And you talking about Ja Morant? Ja Morant has been trash for about 2 years now. Where have you been, Chi-Chi? Come on, man. You just wanted to put a smile on my face. You were just in the chat joking. That's a great joke, Chi-Chi. It's a great joke, man. Tatsu's Film. What's up, Tat? Knicks front office wouldn't trade Brunson for Giannis. And I'm with the front office on that, Tat. I'm with the front office. Chi-Chi said we need a PG to respect Cat. I don't even know what that means, Chi-Chi. I genuinely have no clue what that even means. What does that comment even mean? We need a PG to respect Cat. What does that mean? Explain yourself. MBM reminding people of the like button. Appreciate you. Let's not play with our food. I appreciate you, MBM. Absolutely. If you're in the stream so far enjoying yourself, please go ahead, leave a like. It is by far more than anything. That and subscribing, the best ways to show support to the show, to the channel, and I very much appreciate it, y'all. Thank you. GD said, Ja and Cat, great pick and roll. Brother, what are you talking about, Chi-Chi? The Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns had the most points per possession last year running pick and roll for the first half of the year. Ja Morant, I don't think Ja Morant's hit a three-pointer in about 4.5 years. Ja Morant averages about 72 turnovers a game. And you talking about Jalen Brunson for Ja Morant. Get Ja Morant out of here. They're not even on the same level. Ja Morant, when was the last time Ja Morant made an all-star team? We talking about all NBA performer versus a guy who can't make the all-star team. Get off of the highlight reel, Chi-Chi. Get off of the highlight reel. You watch him make a highlight dunk once every 5 games, and you're like, we got to trade the farm for that guy. Get him out of here. Ricky said trade Brunson for Wemby. I mean, unfortunately, yes. When you start talking about one of the best players in the league, and like before he's even reached his prime. MBM said no more 3-game losing streaks. 3-game losing streak should be the height of where we get to with losing streaks. That should be the height. Just that said, Ja has a big mouth. Back in the 90s, dudes would have punched him in the face long ago. I just don't think it's just not even worth it with a guy like him, you know? Like, he's like a child. He's so immature. Like a child on the court. You know, you wouldn't punch a child. You would just be like, I'm going to go over here because you're being childish right now, right? Like, it's kind of that situation with Ja Morant. It's like, leave your childish stuff over there. We don't even want to deal with it. Mark said, Ja got a shoe deal for zero reason. Well, he got the shoe deal because he's a highlight reel. He's a highlight factory, right? Like I said, every 5 games, you're going to see a big dunk from Ja Morant. Everybody's going to go, oh, my God, Ja Morant. And it's like, cool. Did they win the game? No. They lost it by 13 because Ja Morant had 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter and could knock down a 3. And it's like, oh, yep, that makes sense. Gigi said, come on, Chef, we haven't seen a pick and roll between Cat and JB in 2 years. Brother, what, Chi-Chi? What have you been watching, Chi-Chi? What have you been watching? There are multiple Brunson Cat pick and rolls every single night, my brother. Even that they said, Ja's not first team. He is first me. Absolutely. Great way of putting it, Keith. New York is team first organization. Yes, they are. Hattie said, I don't see Big Mitch being used offensively in the replays from last night. Big Mitch is not used offensively. He is a screen setter. That is his use. He is a screen setter, offensive rebounder, and either put it back in or kick it out to the open three-point shooter off the offensive rebound. That is his role offensively. You are not going to see Mitchell Robinson involved in a play to get Mitchell Robinson a basket outside of a lob. And you're not going to be able to run actions like that a ton. And he's also just coming back from injury, so the conditioning isn't 100% there. The explosion isn't 100% there. All of the things with Big Mitch. But you know what to expect from Big Mitch. It's not worried about him. Make sure our phone is plugged in so we're nice and charged and ready to go for the rest of the night. Panama Ray, what's up, Panama Ray? Doug Fresh, my man Doug. Mark said he hasn't been watching. Now, he's been watching those highlight reels, Mark, I'm telling you. You could always tell when somebody isn't watching the game and they just go on YouTube afterwards and they watch the 15-minute highlight reel. David said, Chef is styling and profiling. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to have to go to the store and get some new outfits because I was looking at the shirts today and I was like, I've worn that one so many times. I've worn that one so many times. I got a bunch of ties. I try to mix up the shirts with the ties, with the pants, and all these crazy things. But I'm gonna have to go back to the thrift store and start looking for some shirts again. Panama Ray said Chi-Chi's on that Zaza, possibly. Chi-Chi said, remember no one wanted Sprewell after he choked his coach. We got him and boom, NBA Finals. We need Ja ASAP. Leon, work your magic. Brother, they got Latrell Sprewell for nothing because he choked his coach. You just said we should trade our best player, who's an all-NBA performer, who plays every night, for an injury-prone head case who has not proven to have the skill to do anything that wins basketball games consistently. Comparing Latrell Sprewell's skill to Ja Morant's is insane. Ja Morant can stay over there, my brother. He can stay over there. If he can prove that he could be an adult, we could start having conversations about, what team could he go to? And yeah, Ja Morant, he's really grown up and whatnot. Until he proves that he could be an actual adult and stop being a head case and stop being injury prone, there is no conversation to be had about Ja Morant. He could stay over there in Memphis and toil around and have fun with his shoe deals, and he'll sign another big old contract. But he ain't going to win nothing acting the way he's acting. Isaiah Garner said, Ja's an exciting player to watch, but he can not be your number one guy to win a championship. JB did more than Ja did in 3 years as the Knicks and got us to our first conference finals. Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the thing, though. And you all have to realize the way I realized it a long time ago. GG's just a troll in the chat. My man still won't let go of the Jonas Valanciunas dream. You guys just got to understand, my man Chi-Chi just loves to instigate. And I know he is, and I'm going to give him what he's asking for. I'm going to give you what you're asking for, Chi-Chi, because it's good content. And it's a good conversation to have, and I get to make fun of you because I know you got thick skin, and you know I got love for you. So I could be harsher with you than normal. But you know that's crazy. That's the thing. You know that's crazy. You just saying it because you're going to get a rise out of me. Doug Fresh said, back-to-back game is not good. I do believe, let me make sure before I say it. I do believe this is the second night of the back-to-back for the Wizards as well, who also played Sunday night. They did not. I thought they did. Wizards? Yeah, they played. Oh, my God, ESPN. Can you just not be terrible for a second? Thank you. They did not. Okay. It's not the second night of the back-to-back for the Wizards. They played Saturday, so they did have the day off. But it is the Wizards, so. Hattie said rage baiting. Yeah, and I know it's coming. That's why I'm going to give it back to him. I'm going to give Chi-Chi what he's asking for. David Osh Jr. said, Chi-Chi, Devin Booker, come and start it up. You know, at one point, I was big on the bandwagon of Devin Booker's going to eventually find his way on the Knicks because of his connections with Leon Rose. That man just loves signing contracts with Phoenix, despite how bad Phoenix has been managed. That man does not care. He loves getting his money down there in Phoenix, and they love giving it to him. CJ McCollum, Kaishan, George Blau, Coulibaly, Justin Champagnie, and Alex Sarr are in the starting lineup here tonight for the Washington Wizards. The Knicks with the same starting five. Obviously, Landry Shamet, as we talked about, is in the starting lineup for Mitchell Robinson. It'll be interesting. Tonight we should get some Gershon Yabusele. Gigi said, would you do Booker for JB? No, brother, I'm not trading Jalen Brunson. The only guys I'm trading Jalen Brunson for are Wembanyama. That's really it. Like, if you ask me Brunson for SGA, SGA is the better player, but I wouldn't want to trade my soul for SGA. Like, I'm ride or die with Jalen Brunson right now. Same with Giannis. I'm ride or die with JB right now. Like, any of those guys, and like, would you trade for that guy? Like, we gotta trade for them so they can play alongside JB. The only guy I would trade JB for, unfortunately, is Wembanyama, just because you can't pass up on that. He's too young. He's too good already. So, you know, that's really the only guy. Lano Monas, what's up, Lano? AP, what's up, AP? Isaiah Garner said JB and Booker would be a duo, would be lethal. Absolutely. Absolutely. It'll never happen. But, you know, at this point, it'll never happen. But here we are getting ready for the tip-off. And Sarr wins the tip, and the Wizards will bring it down to start the game here in Madison Square Garden, the second of their 7-game homestand here. They started it off the right way, getting a victory against the Bulls, and McCollum has it up top, trying to get a victory for the Wizards here. Gets it over to Sarr. Sarr is going to attack Towns. Stops, turns, spins. Little fall-away jumper in the paint. Well short, long rebound. Anunoby able to pick it up, and Brunson will bring it down. Brunson has it up top, being guarded by Coulibaly to start. Brunson coming to his left off the Anunoby screen. Champagnie switches onto him. They get it over to Bridges. Bridges being guarded by McCollum. They get it over to Towns. Towns on the left wing. He's going to spot it for a three off a Landry Shamet screen. Okay, the off-ball movement, and we get an open three for Karl-Anthony Towns to start the game. Love to see that. Coulibaly gets it over to Sarr. Sarr in the high post. Hands it off to Coulibaly. Brunson guarding him. He's going to go under the Sarr screen here. He's going to step back for a mid-range jumper. Not a great shot. Can't get it to go. As we know, he's not a very good outside shooter. Brunson doing a good job of daring him to shoot, and Coulibaly obliges with the miss. They get over to Towns. Towns, a deep 30-footer. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. A little too early with the heat check, Karl-Anthony Towns. Let's just run our offense, big dog. CJ McCollum coming to his right up the Sarr screen. Snakes it back to his left hand. A foul line pull-up jumper, and he rattles it in. Vintage CJ McCollum on that play right there. Mikal Bridges will bring it down right side of the court. 10:46 to go here in the first quarter. Obviously very early in the start here. Brunson on the right wing now, coming to his left off an Anunoby screen. Champagnie switches onto him. They try to get it over to Bridges. Kaishan George jumps the lane. Brunson hustles back, able to pick up the steal, saves it into Shamet. Shamet bringing it down, driving it past over to Anunoby. And good job from Brunson and the Knicks as Anunoby gets his pocket picked by Coulibaly, and he's going to go all the way down for a two-handed slam. And the Knicks a little lackadaisical here, thinking that they might just run away with this one, and the Wizards have come out very feisty off defensively here. Brunson bringing it down, hands it off to Anunoby. Anunoby on the right wing, hands it off to Shamet. Shamet gets it over to Anunoby in the right corner, being guarded by Champagnie. Up top to Towns. Towns, high post, being guarded by Sarr. Going to put him in the post now, back him down. Blow past him in the lane, lefty hook, gets it to go down. Good move from Karl-Anthony Towns. Starts off the game with the first 5 points for the Knicks. Coulibaly gets it over to George. Kaishan George steps behind the screen. Anunoby doesn't step up. Brunson doesn't step up to help him out off the screen. And Kaishan George knocks down the three. And a quick timeout for the Knicks, as I don't have the game cast up for y'all. My bad. It is Monday. Why does it feel like it's a weekend day? It is Monday. Stay S. What's up, Stay? Thank God, a solid play-by-player. You need an NBA job. I appreciate you, Stay. I appreciate you, man. I do like providing it free for you guys. Gigi said, listen, no one should be untouchable. Remember, we could have had Spider. Why would you want Spider when you got Jalen Brunson, my brother? Come on, man. Spider Mitchell, all Spider Mitchell has done the last 3-4 years in the playoffs is get outplayed by better players. Come on, man. But they said Scrubby, RJ, and Grimes were untouchable. Well, that's not what they said. They said you can only have a handful of these guys. You can't have all of them, which was the right decision because it got us OG Anunoby. It eventually got us Mikal Bridges. And I'd rather have OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges than Spider Mitchell, who has done nothing in the playoffs. Get him out of here. Get Donovan Mitchell out of here. What has my man done throughout his career besides get outplayed in the playoffs year after year after year after year? You got to hop off the House of Highlights game recaps, the 15-minute game recaps. You got to sit down and watch these games, Chi-Chi. Come on, man. Elvin Villamore, what's up, Elvin? That shirt, definitely Walt Frazier closet. I love it. Appreciate you, Elvin. Appreciate you. I try my best. Obviously trying to pay homage to the great Walt Clyde Frazier. Hattie said, come on, Knicks, get in rhythm, no chucking. The only chucking was obviously that Town shot, but I think the biggest issue with the Knicks right now is the fact that they are very lackadaisical in their offense, just kind of sloppily handing the ball off, just standing with the ball right in front of the pressure that the Wizards are putting on, like Anunoby getting easily stripped by Coulibaly, not protecting the ball at all. Bridges not protecting the ball, trying to receive a pass with Kaishan George all over him, and had him get out on a very easy fast break. JA3, what's up, Jay? Nick Yak, what's up, Nick Yak? Another young athletic team. We got work to do. Record means nothing. Absolutely. Absolutely. We did talk about how spunky this Wizards team is. Can't rest on your laurels. Don't be surprised if this is a close game going into the fourth quarter. At some point, the Knicks should be able to pull away, but this Wizards team is spunky. And the Knicks are giving them confidence to start the game. So I'm not liking it. Elvin Villamore, oh my goodness, with a very generous super chat. You don't have to do that, Elvin, but I very much appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Angela Harding, what's up, Angela? Isaiah Garner said it definitely does feel like a weekend, probably a slow day. It did get dark really early today. It was like 4:30. I was driving home, and I had to turn my car lights on. And I was like, what is this nonsense? What is this? Some full-court pressure here from the Wizards as we are back into the game. Brunson bringing it down. Brunson up top, being guarded by Coulibaly. Handed off to Bridges. Bridges up top, being guarded by Kaishan George. Calling for a screen from Towns. No movement here for the Knicks. Not a part of their offense. Bridges shoves it over to Towns. Towns has it up top. Gets Brunson cut back door. One-legged fall-away baseline jumper. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Anunoby able to grab the offensive rebound. Gets it out to Shamet. Now over to Bridges. Bridges up top. Swing through to his right. Up top to Towns on the pick and pop. Wide open three. Another one. Line me up, Karl-Anthony Towns. And those are the threes you're going to get against this team, Karl-Anthony Towns. No need to chuck up the 35-foot trail threes. 9 minutes to go here. It's a one-point game. A back-and-forth affair so far. Coulibaly driving to his right, and they hit him with a movement, not him. They hit I thought they were going to call him with the travel, but they call a moving screen on Kaishan George, handing it off to Coulibaly. Lana Mona said, let's win all 7 home games. And if you're in politics, Sheffy, don't forget to vote tomorrow. Got my vote in already, Lionel. Appreciate you. Mark said your shirt is reacting with the green screen. Yes, it is. I did notice that. Yes, it is. Brunson a step back right wing 3. Can't get it to go. Towns with the offensive rebound. Bully balling his way in the paint. Gets blocked by Sarr. Gets his own rebound. Goes up. Smokes the layup. Gets the tip. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound again. Towns saves it, but right to Kaishan George. You got to get one of those to go in, Big Towns. Come on. They get it over to McCollum at the 5-on-4 as Towns to the floor. Pass fake. Coulibaly down the lane. Runs right into Jalen Brunson. And a charge for Bilal Coulibaly. Charging right into Brunson there. Elvin Villamore being very generous. I appreciate you, Elvin. Again, you guys know you don't have to do that. I'm never going to ask you for super chats. I'm never going to ask you to become a member. I would appreciate it. I appreciate the generosity, and I thank you for it. But I'm not going to ask you to do it. I'm not going to sit here and ask you for money. I think that's weird. Anunoby on the left wing. All I'm going to ask is for likes and subscriptions. That's all I'm ever going to ask you for. Anunoby gets fouled going to the basket. 8:12 to go here. 8-7, Knicks with a 1-point lead. 4 minutes into the game. Brunson will inbound it. Get it into Towns. Towns looks very spry right now, which is a good sight. Obviously dealt with the calf injury, the quad injury. And Towns hands it off to Brunson, and Brunson splashes the left wing 3. Both our stars knocking down their shots early here tonight, at least from 3-point range. Sarr has it up top. Hits Coulibaly cutting back door, and bad defense and bad communication from the Knicks. Great pass from Sarr, though. On a nice cut from Coulibaly there. Brunson driving it down off the Town screen. Kicks it out. Sham at a right corner 3. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Knocked out of bounds by Coulibaly. Good job battling on the glass from Towns yet again. Shamit. So the miscommunication on the Coulibaly easy layup was a miscommunication between Shamit and Anunoby on an off-ball screen. That was the issue there. They get it in the Bridges, driving it down, kicks it out to Towns. Towns catches, pump fakes, and they hit Towns with the travel. He did shuffle those feet. Would have been surprised if they didn't call it, but they did. John Boozlon, what's up, John? Sarr up top, hands it off to McCollum. McCollum pulls it out, coming to his right off the Sarr screen. Anunoby puts up the hand. CJ McCollum misses the straightaway pull-up 3. Good rebound from Towns. Quick outlet to Shamit. Shamit gets it over to Anunoby. He's got it in the post against McCollum. Obviously has the size and strength advantage here. Down the lane, they show 2. They swing it around. Bridges, a right corner 3, wide open. On the ball movement, can't get it to go down. Sarr with the weak side rebound. He's going to bring it down. Towns trying to hustle back. Sarr on the right wing, cross-court pass to Champagny, extra pass to Coulibaly. That's the guy they want shooting, but it doesn't matter as Coulibaly knocks down the left wing 3. Under 7 minutes to go here. Didn't restart the timer, my bad. Brunson on the left wing, they show 2, knocked out of bounds by McCollum with 6:45 to go. Jay said, messy game for sure. Back-to-backs are tough, but would love to see this cleaned up. For sure. I mean, luckily the Knicks, both of these games at home, so not too stressful of a back-to-back. It's just a regular back-to-back, which the Knicks should still be able to be perfectly fine. Anunoby steps back over to Towns. Towns a little mid-range pick and pop. Can't get down when the goes. It rattles out. Kaishan George comes flying in for a nice strong rebound. He's bringing it down now. Swings it over to Coulibaly. He pump fakes from 3. Just hit one. He's going to dance around the Sarr screen, driving it down, knocked out of his hands. Towns picks it up. Home run pass over to Bridges. All by himself, and he gets an easy two-handed slam out of it. Nice outlet pass from Towns to Bridges there. Nice defense to lead for the offense there. Defense leading the offense in that situation. Knicks back up by 1, 13-12. And by the way, good defense from Towns and Brunson on that play to pick up the steal on Coulibaly. MBM said we need this dub. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, my brother. Yes, we do. And I still don't have the game cast up for y'all. Y'all got to let me know. Be like, hey, man, put the game cast up. You know? Just puts up the stats for y'all. You can see where we're standing. Coulibaly already up to 7 points, including a made 3-pointer. Would not be surprised if he hovers around 7 points majority of the game. But we'll see. We'll see. Isaiah Garner said, I'm loving how this new offensive system got JB shooting from 3 and more space for everybody to operate than with Tibbs. I mean, it's just obviously a different philosophy. I think this philosophy fits this team significantly better than Tibbs, which was isolation heavy, put the ball in my best player's hands, get 2 on the ball, and then make a decision out of it. Just because Towns isn't a great decision maker, I thought you were putting him in a position to not be at his best. I'll phrase it that way. This allows Karl Anthony Towns to make simpler reads offensively. But, you know, he's obviously has a ton on his plate in terms of what he's responsible for. But still. Lana Mona said, don't take this game for granted. Let's win this with authority. Like I said, don't be surprised with this Wizards team if they're in the game for a majority of it. Don't be surprised if the Knicks don't pull away early from this Wizards team. They are a good, spunky team. They're a spunky team. They're not going to win a ton of games, but they're going to be in most of them. They're going to be in most of them for sure, right? They were in the game with the Oklahoma City Thunder for about 3 quarters before the Thunder eventually started to pull away at the end of the third and then into the fourth. You know, expect something similar tonight against the Knicks. But to your point, Lionel, it's why you can't take this game for granted. You can't just automatically chuck up a win. You have to go out and beat this Wizards team. They're going to hang around as long as they can, and you're going to have to, at some point, turn up the pressure and go out and win this basketball game from them. Kay Hayes said, interesting that Sarr isn't being used much offensively so far. I mean, he's out there sending a bunch of screens and whatnot. Koulibaly's had the hot hand, so they're playing a lot through him. But Sarr will have his say. He's averaging about 17 a game so far. He will have his say so far here tonight. Like I said earlier in the pregame, he's not settling for the three-point shot as much as he was last year. He's attempting to be more of a big man this year, which is very, very good for the Wizards. Especially offensively, he's trying to be more of a big man, not settling for the three-point shot. So, you know, it's going to take a little bit more in the game, and he's going to get a lot of his offense off of setting screens for his teammates. Sarr in the lane off the pick and roll. Can't get it to go, but gets a two-handed putback slam off of his own missed floater. Halfway through this first quarter already. Time is flying by. Brunson has it up top, spins off of George, step back, mid-range pull-up jumper. Too strong, can't get it to go. Champagnie with the rebound. Quick outlet to McCollum. McCollum bringing it down. Shamet picks him up. McCollum's dancing with it up top to Sarr. He's going to pump fake from 3, hand it off to Champagnie. Champagnie driving it down to the rim, gets the layup to go over Karl Anthony Towns. A nice drive and finish from Champagnie there, and a 3-point lead is opened up for the Wizards. Brunson bringing it down. He has it up top. They get it over to Hart, back to Brunson. Brunson coming to his left, hands it off the bridge, fakes the hand off the Bridges. Now gets it over to Towns. Towns up top by the 3-point line. Coming to his right, out to Anunoby. Goes along the baseline. McCollum's there. He just bully balls his way to the basket. McCollum steps out of the way with the Olay defense there for McCollum and gives Anunoby the easy layup. Tyshawn George up top, over to Sarr, quickly going and attacking Towns. In the lane, puts up the floater, gets the floater to go, and one. You spoke a little too soon there, Kay Hazy. Here comes Alex Sarr with 2 straight baskets. This one being an and one, sending him to the foul line for one more. Karl Anthony Towns reaching there. So Sarr is at the foul line for one more. Sarr at the foul line. Knocks down his and one free throw. 19-15. 5 minutes to go here. Brunson bringing it down. Hands it off to Hart. Hart back to Brunson. Knicks out there with Brunson, Hart, Yabusele, Shamet, and Bridges. Brunson dancing with it on the right wing as Sarr switches onto him. In and out dribble, driving to his left down the lane. Floater, got it to go. How he gets those, I'll never know. When going up against 7-footers, I'll never know. I'll never understand the mechanics of it. Tyshawn George up top, coming to his left off the screen. Bridges chasing him. George down the lane to the basket, gets the layup to go. Don't love the Bridges on Tyshawn George mashup. George, a little meatier than Bridges is, using his size and strength to his advantage there. I would use Anunoby for those bigger wings there. Brunson coming to his left off a Yabusele screen. A pull-up 3 for JB. In and out, can't get it to stay. Fight for the rebound. Yabusele snatches the offensive rebound, but can't save it into Josh Hart fast enough as he steps out of bounds. Ball going back to the Wizards. Hattie said, let's stay undefeated at home. Well, during this 7-game winning streak, it's going to be tough because the Knicks are going to have to go out on a big old winning streak here in order to stay undefeated at home, which would be nice as Marvin Bagley subs in for Star here. 4:18 to go, and we get a timeout from the Knicks. Oh, we're going to use a challenge. Don't love that. What is the point? What is the point of challenging in the first quarter? What are we doing? What are we challenging? We're challenging the Yabusele out of bounds? He was clearly out of bounds. Oh, maybe they're trying to see that there's a foul on Champagnie, maybe? I get they use the challenge to try and pick up the foul on Champagnie. You got two hands on Yabusele. Yabusele's in the air. I don't think they're gonna call that a foul. It's like minimal contact. This is a terrible, terrible challenge attempt. Who cares about challenging in the first and out of bounds on the first quarter? What are you getting out of this? What are you getting out of this? I don't like this challenge. I don't like this challenge. Just save it. Just save the challenge. Nixon NYC said, we need to stop playing to the level of our competition and just ball out. They're not playing to the level of their competition. The Wizards are spunky, man. Stop looking down on the Wizards. Stop looking down in your competition. Nixon, you got to have respect for your opponents. The Wizards are not a dumpster fire. They're a spunky young team. They're not going to win a ton of games, but they're going to be in a lot of games. But obviously, we're going to get a 15-minute review session here from the officials because they got to see every replay about 57 times before they can make a decision. Oh, man. 5-minute timers on these decisions. Watch the replay a couple times, discuss it, and make a decision. Not difficult. It's not difficult. Nixon said, we are better, though? Of course. Of course. And they'll prove it as the game goes on. They'll prove it as the game goes on. The Thunder are also better than the Wizards, and yet it was a tied game going into the like halfway through the third quarter. Right? The Thunder are way better than the Wizards, are they not? Thunder are still undefeated. So the Knicks are going to win this challenge here. Again, we have to implement. Mark said, hurry up, refs. I'm with you, Mark. I'm with you. We got to implement a timer here. And if you can't make a decision off of the 3 minutes that you're given, then it wasn't a good challenge. You'll watch the replay a couple of times from different angles. Then you discuss it with the other two officials, and then you make a decision. All right. So the official ruling is an approximate foul on Champagnie with the two-handed push on Yabusele. So the Knicks will indeed get the ball back. 21-17 here. Knicks get their challenge back. Obviously, they have one more challenge for the game. They retain their timeout. 4:19 to go here in the first quarter. Boompe said the challenge room haters look stupid. Which is why, I don't know. And the only time I would look to use a challenge early in the game is to send a message. That's not really sending a message. You know, it's not really sending a message. No one was upset that a foul wasn't called there. Everybody just jogged back on the other end. It's early in the first quarter here. Maybe Mike Brown's trying to send a message to his teammates, to his team. I don't know. But I didn't love that challenge. They get it into Yabusele. At least they won it, and they get another challenge back. Yabusele up top, hands it off to Brunson. Brunson being guarded by Marvin Bagley. Brunson steps back, gets it over to Bridges. Bridges swings through to his right, leans in, step back. They show two defenders. Steps forward, flips it up with the left hand, can't get it to go. Yabusele with the offensive rebound. Kicks it out to Josh Hart. They swing it over to Bridges. Extra pass to Brunson. He steps into a three. In and out, can't get that one to stay. Marvin Bagley with the rebound. And now here comes Cam Whitmore bringing it down. Josh Hart will pick him up. Get it up top to Tyshawn George, being guarded by Shamit. Get it over to Kispert, who's now in the game as well, being guarded by Brunson. Jab step, coming to his left. Leans in. Tries to hit Cam Whitmore, come back door, but right through his hands. Out of bounds, ball going back to the Knicks, and JB will bring it down very quickly here, trying to push the pace a little bit. Brunson has it up top, hands it off to Hart. Hart back to Brunson. Brunson coming to his right off the Yabusele screen, driving it down in the paint, takes it out to Yabusele, wide open, knock me down, Gershon Yabusele in and out, halfway down, but he can't get it to stay, and here come the Wizards pushing it the other way. Trey Johnson is in the game, the rookie, being guarded by Shamit here. Johnson coming to his left off the Bagley screen, putting his head down, attacking Shamit. Mid-range pull-up jumper over him. He can't get it to stay. Josh Hart comes flying in for the rebound. The Wizards are out there with Bagley, Kispert, Whitmore, Carrington, and Johnson. The Knicks are out there with Anunoby, Brunson, Yabusele, Hart, and McBride, who's about to check in. Shamit on the right wing up top to Yabu. Yabu hands it off to Hart. Hart puts up the three, no hesitation. In and out halfway down, but he can't get it to stay. One of those nights for both sides of the court so far. And an offensive foul on Kispert as Shamit took a dive there. Now Carrington and McBride will check in. Hey, Hazy said bricking and bricking and bricking. Anthony Gene T, what's up, Anthony? So far this season, I'm not impressed with our play. It's 6 games, my brother. This is game 6. Game 6. I will say I've been impressed with the defense. I thought the defense was going to be a lot more disastrous to start the year. I've been impressed with where the defense is so far to start. And I've been impressed with the open looks that they've been able to generate. What I haven't been impressed with is their ability to knock down the open shots. So McBride bringing it down. Up top being guarded by the rookie Johnson. McBride coming to his left off the screen. Sprays it over to Yabusele. Yabusele in the mid-range. Pass fake. Back up top to McBride. McBride crosses over, driving it down. Step back. Leans in. Kicks it out to Hart. Hart on the left wing, now over to Anunoby. Shot clock winding down. Anunoby's got to make something out of nothing. A step back left wing three for OG. Don't like that shot, but with the shot clock expiring, he had to get something up. 2 minutes to go here in the first. 17 points so far in the first is a far cry of what they put up against Chicago. Trey Johnson, a mid-range pull-up jumper, weaving his way around the screen there, and he knocks it down around the Bagley screen. McBride almost turns it over. Cam Whitmore jumped the passing lane. Anunoby able to save it. Kicks it out to Yabusele. Extra pass to Brunson. Brunson being guarded by Bagley here. Jab step. Blows past him all the way to the rim. Gets the easy layup to go because that's what JB does. 23-19. A 4-point deficit for the New York Knicks. 1:40 to go here. Bagley has it up top. Being guarded by Yabu. Hands it off to Whitmore. Whitmore coming to his right. He loses the handle, but he picks it back up. Josh Hart guarding him. Swing it over to Kispert. Blows past McBride in the paint. Pump fakes inside. Bagley lays it up and in with the left hand. Can't get blown by there by Deucey. That one's on Deuce. Yabu had to step up on the help. Deuce McBride can't get blown by there on the perimeter, man. That we know you're better than that. Brunson has it up top, being guarded by Carrington. Gonna wind down some time here. Hands it off to Anunoby. Anunoby over to Yabu. Yabu hands it off to Hart, and they call the offensive foul on Yabusele, setting an illegal handoff screen there for Josh Hart. Ball going back to the Wizards. Anthony Gene T said, I still miss Rando and Dante. You got to be able to move on, my man. You got to be able to move on, Ant. We are 2 years removed away from it, my man. This is year 2. They broke up with you. Right? When she breaks up with you, you got to learn to move on, my man. Come on. I have not thought about Rando or Dante in years. And they've only been gone for a year. Beautiful pass from Bub Carrington to Marvin Bagley. On the other end, OG Anunoby just beating them down the court. Gets an easy dunk out of it, so they trade baskets there, 27-21. And Cam Whitmore trying to push it the other way. The Knicks calls a turnover. McBride a pull-up three in transition as nobody steps up to guard him. Off the back rim. Rebound finds its way back over to him. Has it up top. Pulls it back out. They're going to hold it for what could be the final shot. No, it can't. About a 23-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Brunson has it in the corner. Shovels it inside the Yabu. Yabu gets fouled by Kispert. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws with 25 seconds to go. Anthony said we were better. They were in the conference finals last year, Anthony. Like I said, move on, my man. Move on. Put the big boy pants on. Come on. Talking about we were better. They were in the conference finals last year, my man. 20. My man, Knicks will be 2026 champs. Who's up 2026? Athletic teams give Knicks fits. Yeah. Especially when you're down Robinson. You don't really have a great rim protector in there. Playing Karl Anthony Towns and Yabusele as your backup 5. You don't have a great rim protector out there, right? Just that's it's Star speaks English well, you think? Probably, right? Yeah, I think he does. I think I've heard interviews with him. I think he speaks English perfectly fine. MBM said separation issues? Yeah, for real. Got to move on, man. I literally haven't thought about Rando and Dante since, I don't know, like 20 games in the last year. Yabusele splits the free throws. Come on, big dog. You got to knock down your free throws. The Knicks were perfect from the foul line the other night. My timer ticked off, but we got about a second difference between game clock and shot clock here. The Wizards will have it for the final shot with McBride guarding Carrington up top. Shamet is in for Brunson for the final possession here. Carrington coming to his right off the screen. Cross-court pass to an open Kispert. Left corner 3 on the catch and shoot, and he knocks it down. 8-point deficit for the Knicks. Josh Hart's going to rush it down the other way. Low pass the defense to the rim. Reverse layup. Got it to go at the buzzer. A lot of contact, no foul call. But they're also going to have to go and review to see if he got it off in time. But I will say, I'm going to give him the 2 points for now. They're going to show the replay right here. Let's see. Goes up with it. Oh, that's close. That is close. That is right off the fingertips. Kiana Bryan, what's up, Kiana? Just that's the worst first quarter of the year? Yeah, probably. Probably. Right. We're going to give the Knicks the 2 points for now, but they showed the replay multiple times there. It looks like they're going to wave that one off. It looks like it was still on Josh Hart's fingertips as the buzzer sounded. You know, I said we had best not lose to the Wizards. Hey, man, we got 36 minutes to go. The Knicks at some point will play better offensively. At least that is the hope, right? AB said Landry Shamet, 10 minutes of nothing. He shot a 3, my brother. He shot a 3. It was a good open look. Don't knock him down as the game goes on. I'm going to move here. This guy. Oh, I had that set up already. But we're going to open up this real quick. What games do we have tonight? Why? Come on, green screen. You're embarrassing me. Now, what games do we have going on today? Timberwolves taking on the Nets. A 5-point game. The Nets are 0-6, but they're spunky. Every time we look at them, they're in games. Cam Thomas with 19 points already. The Bucks taking on the Pacers. That's a 1-point game. Giannis versus Pascal Siakam is always a fun matchup. Jazz taking on the Celtics. That one's early. Obviously, Knicks Wizards. Mavs Rockets just tipped off. Then you got Pistons Grizzlies going on as well that just tipped off. And then you got some of the late games that I'm not really interested in. Heat Clippers might be interesting just because the Heat are a very fun team to start so far this year. The Lakers are 5-2 somehow. JJ Redick is a pretty damn good coach, is he not? Ricky said Nets versus Knicks is always a good game. I would like them to stop being good games. Right, Ricky? I would like the Knicks to blow the Nets out. Just Dad said Pacers got their win finally, did they? Well, they did. They're 1-5. Shout out to Pacers. Taking on the Bucks here tonight. It would be nice if the Bucks could lose. Knicks could use a Bucks loss for sure. Tie them up in the standings. Too early to care about standings. But here we go. We're back in to start the second quarter. Knicks missed their shot. They are going to wipe the 2 points away. Mid-range pull-up jumper for Trey Johnson, the rookie, and he knocks it down. Not a good way to start with the Knicks now down by 10, 32-22. Really poor offensive first quarter from the Knicks there. Anunoby driving it down. Spins, coming to his left, up top to McBride. McBride Gets it over to Towns. Towns fakes the handoff. Fakes the handoff again. Now hands it off to McBride. A pull-up three off the handoff. Deuce McBride line me up from three. Okay, we'll take it. 32-25, a 7-point game, obviously here to start the second quarter. Carrington has it up top, crosses over to his left on McBride, spins, kicks it out to Johnson, a deep three over OG Anunoby. Off the front rim, can't get it to go. Towns with the rebound. Clarkson is in the game. The Knicks come out with Anunoby, Towns, Bridges, Clarkson, and McBride to start the quarter. The Wizards are out there with Sarr, Coulibaly, Carrington, Will Riley, and Trey Johnson. Towns hits McBride, leaves it off Anunoby. Beautiful offense there. Towns in the high post with the wraparound pass to McBride, who curled around him, cutting to the rim, and McBride with the beautiful handoff as Towns reaches in, gets the steal on Sarr, and the Knicks are quickly pushing the other way. Jordan Clarkson has it up top. I knew he was going to shoot that pull-up three off the front rim. Can't get it to go. Come on, man. We were building momentum. Come on, JC. That's not the shot we needed, my brother. Attack the basket. Carrington coming off a Sarr screen. Up top to Johnson. Johnson being guarded by Bridges here. Coming to his left off the screen. Back up top to Sarr in the pick and pop three. Airball that one. Way off. Wide right on that one. He did not look comfortable shooting that shot at all. Just that, so don't look at the standing. The Sixers are 5-1 for sure. Towns has it in the mid-post. Gets it over to Anunoby in the paint. Pump fakes, leans in, gets stripped. No foul call, clean strip, hit a head pass. Riley down the lane gets hacked and fouled by Deuce McBride. Good foul from Deuce. Riley's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws here with 9:50 to go. Keenar said we do not need that crap out of Clarkson. We didn't. We just call him Jordan Payne. Yeah, you know, they were in transition there. I would have preferred Clarkson to take that space and attack and use up that space in transition there to go and get to the rim. And if you don't get anything, but if you collapse the defense, you can kick it out to somebody or create a situation, as Will Riley misses a free throw. We love when our opponents miss free throws. Or create a situation where you collapse the defense driving into the paint, and then you can kick it back out to a trailer like Karl-Anthony Towns, and then generate an open three that way. Will Riley misses both free throws. I love it, but the Knicks give up the offensive rebound off the free throw. They get it into Sarr. Sarr with the lefty hook over Towns. He gets it to go down. So all of that missed free throws just for Sarr to get an easy lefty hook anyway. Clarkson bringing it down, hands it off to McBride. McBride has it up top, hands it off to Anunoby. Anunoby back up top to Clarkson. Clarkson over to Towns. Towns faces up. Hands it off to Anunoby, coming to his left. He's open from three on the handoff. Sets his feet and fires. Well short. Barely grazes the front of the rim. Carrington picks it up. Hit ahead to Trey Johnson. Johnson tries to get it down low to Sarr. Bad pass. Knocked away from Anunoby. Towns picks it up. Here comes McBride. McBride hands it off to Towns. Going to pump fake from three. Drive it to his left on Sarr. Blows right past him to the rim. Gets the easy layup to go. And he's going to be able to get that all night long. It's 34-29. Knicks offense looking a little bit better here. They're moving and grooving a little bit more. A little bit more. Anthony said, is the big cat capable of any post moves? I don't know what you've been watching, Anthony, but Towns do got post moves, my brother. Christopher Kahn? Christopher Kahn. What's up, Chris? What's even happening? It's a close basketball game between the Washington Wizards and the New York Knicks. That's what's happening so far. Keenar said, Sarr improving. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. We talked about it in the pregame. Everything they need, not everything, but the things they really wanted to see improvement on from Sarr, so far he's improved. More strength is there, more comfortability out on the court, not settling for a bunch of jump shots, finishing in the paint a lot better than he did last year. Chris said, I actually wonder if we can get our little fingers on Steph Curry. It's not happening, brother. Guys, if you really want a star on the Knicks, just load up some 2K and put the player on the team. It's really not difficult. If you really want to see Steph Curry wear a Knicks uniform, load up 2K and, trade Landry Shamet for Steph Curry. You can make it happen. It's not happening in real life. Keenar said Towns should long ago have worked with Hakeem. Oh, well, I'm pretty sure he did, brother. Pretty sure he did. Working with Hakeem Olajuwon, it's not a video game. Working with Hakeem Olajuwon doesn't automatically make you good at post moves. K. Hazy said, can Sar be a starter on a championship team? Let's just get him consistently good first, K. Hazy. And then we will worry about if he can be on a championship team or not. Chris said, we should trade Towns? For who, Chris? For who? Throw a name in there, Chris. Who do you want to trade Towns for? I'm convinced some of y'all don't actually like basketball, and you just like talking about basketball. But you don't actually like watching basketball. Phil said, I worked with Ant, and now I'm good at making babies. That's crazy, Phil. That is crazy. That is crazy. Just that said, paid $75 for 2K. Get the dream Knicks team and live the digital dream. That's what I'm saying, just that. That's what I'm saying. Y'all talk about trades, game 6 of the regular season. What are we talking about? Can we talk about basketball? What do you see during the game? Let me know. Buzzer Beater, what's up, Buzzer Beater? Throw some analysis in the chat. What do you think about what's going on with the game right now? Why are the Knicks down by 5 points right now? Y'all talking about trades. Go talk about trades in another situation. When it's time to talk about trades, we'll talk about trades. We got a basketball game going on. Anthony said, why do you always want someone else's used tires? Brother, you are the one also talking about we should trade Towns and whatnot. Sar hands it off to Carrington. Carrington coming to his left off the Sar screen. Over to Sar in the mid-range. Pump fakes. Jab step. Towns giving him space. He's not gonna take the shot that Towns is daring him to shoot. Kaishan George down the lane. Sprays it out. Trey Johnson with the right corner 3 can't get it to go down. Or is that Koulibaly? Koulibaly with the right corner 3 can't get it to go down. McBride with the rebound over to Towns. Towns driving it down off the screen. They kick it out to Clarkson. Pass fake. Clarkson's going to drive the baseline, throw up a floater along the baseline, and he gets it to go down. Nice move from Clarkson and a great pass from Towns. Here comes Carrington bringing it down. He has it on the right wing. Over the top pass to Sar. Sar coming to his left, right into Towns. Good job from Towns to hold his ground there. Sar picks up his handle. He's got nowhere to go. Good denial defense from the Knicks right now. Finally gets it out to Kaishan George. But they call a travel on Sar on the pass attempt. There we go. Just that said, Cash takes 79 shots tonight. They don't really have anybody who can guard him. They have Alex Sar, and they have Marvin Bagley off the bench. So, just that said, I read that one. I said Towns has always been a good passer to change up to something positive. Yes, we could talk about it. What I like from Towns this year, what he's improved on, driving to the basket, he's looked for the kick-out pass a lot more often. Clarkson gets into the lane, tries to kick it over to Towns, but gets knocked out of the air by Sar. Clarkson able to pick it back up. Now he's going to go one-on-one against Kispert. Again, tried to shovel it over to Towns. You just got to look for the finish there, Clarkson. You got Kispert on you. They spray it out to Kaishan George in transition on the pull-up 3. Can't get it to go. Towns with the rebound. Hit ahead to Clarkson. Clarkson over to Hart. Hart one man to beat. Down the lane. Kicks out to Bridges. Bridges the right corner 3. Knock me down, Mikal Bridges. Beautiful transition play there from the Knicks. Every pass was the correct pass. Just enough for them to tie it back up at 34 here. 7:30 to go here in the second quarter. Sar hands it off to Whitmore. Whitmore's been very quiet so far. Back over to Sar. Sar up top. He's going to walk into a pull-up 3 over Towns. Too strong. Can't get it to go. McBride knocks the rebound away from Whitmore, but right to McCollum. You got to wake up there, Jordan Clarkson. That's got to be your rebound. They throw it inside. McBride's there. Oh, and a dangerous play. McBride jumped into the air. Got caught with the pump fake. As he was coming down, pulled Alex Sar down with him. That might be a flagrant from Deuce McBride. Brittany Starr. What's up, Brittany? Christopher Kahn said, if we lost to the Bucks, that's how you know we cook. I don't know if you watch basketball, Chris. The Milwaukee Bucks have this guy named Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's one of the best players in the NBA, who started off the year insanely red hot, and in the post game talked about how he had motivation to pick up a big victory against the Knicks, and you could tell with the way he played. Like I don't know if you know, but like when a star player wants to win a basketball game, they could go out there and win a basketball game, my brother. Hip Hop Beats, what's up, Hip Hop? Happy to see you again, my man. Ivan, what's up, Ivan? I think all the trash teams are tired of losing. I mean, yeah, at some point a team gets tired of losing and they want to be winners, for sure. Just that's a Deuce is definitely not the goon we need. Listen, man, he may not be the goon we want, but he may be the goon we need. Also, there are no more goons in the NBA. Mark said if that's a flagrant 2, we're in trouble. I think it's going to be a flagrant 1. It might be a flagrant 2, actually. I don't know. We'll see. R said, whoops, Deuce is playing football now. Okay. I mean, just don't get tossed. Yeah, I hope they don't toss him. It could be a flagrant 2. Could be. I mean, nobody got hurt. It's obviously an extremely dangerous play from Deuce. But Christopher Kahn said, because it's rigged. Then why are you watching, Chris? If it's rigged, what's the point of watching, my man? What's the point of watching? You're sitting here watching a basketball game? You're watching a stream of somebody watching a basketball game. If it's rigged, why are you so invested? So flagrant 1. Deuce will remain in the game. Beautiful. Love to see it. Brittany Starr said, I knew Bridges was going to scare me today, so I took rebounds today, but still not moving any numbers for real. Jay said, do you think Wemby is truly the next great player? I mean, I don't think he's the next great player. He's already a great player. Already. Right here. Right now. So Sarr is at the foul line for 2 free throws, and the Wizards will get the ball back off the flagrant 1. Chris said, you see, I watch basketball, just Utah Jazz. Well, that explains a lot, Chris. My apologies. I didn't realize you had to be subjugated to terrible basketball the last handful of years. Bodega Prime, what's up, Bodega? In the 90s, that's a regular foul. No, that's a flagrant in the 90s as well, my brother. That's a flagrant in the 90s as well. Hip Hop Beats said, Deuce has been an X factor for us all season, including the playoffs. Yes, he is. He's incredibly important to what the Knicks want to do. They missed him tremendously when he had to take those 2 games off. McCollum coming to his right off the screens, driving it down in the lane. Up top, Kispert driving to his left, stops. All the way jumper over McBride, rattles it in. Sarr also knocked down both of his free throws, by the way, so it's 38-34, a 4-point swing there off the flagrant. McBride hands it off to Josh Hart. Josh Hart's going to put his head down and bully ball his way to the rim, gets an easy righty layup over Keyshawn George. That is the Josh Hart we know and love. That's the Josh Hart we want to see. Delay game warning as they knock the ball out of the air. That is vintage Josh Hart right there. Keyshawn George down the other way, gets blocked by Bridges. Josh Hart with the rebound, shot out of a cannon, bringing it down over to McBride. McBride over to Clarkson. Clarkson in the corner, spins off a Kispert, down the lane, pump fake, goes up off glass. Got it to go. Jordan Clarkson playing much better as well. Not settling for the 3 is what I like to see. The Knicks tie back up at 38 here, approaching the halfway point here in the second quarter. 6:20 to go. Keyshawn George gets it over to Kispert. Kispert blows right past Clarkson for the easy right-handed layup. Come on, JC. Can't get blown by there that easily. Hit ahead to Clarkson. He has it on the left wing here, quickly trying to push it the other way over to Towns, who walks into an open 3. They lead. They give him space. Gotta be able to knock those down. Can't get it to go as he comes up just short. Hit ahead over to Keyshawn George, coming to his right up the star screen. Pulls it back for Keyshawn George. Swings it over to McCollum, who's wide open. Josh Hart doesn't get out there fast enough. McCollum way off on that one, too strong. Towns secures the rebound, over to McBride. McBride over to Bridges. Bridges back to McBride. Now they get it to Towns in the post. Left wing, backing down Sarr, backing him down. Drop step, goes up, and throws it right down over Sarr. Too little, kid. You're too little. My goodness. Dominate down there then. They said you got no post moves, Tat. They said you got no post moves. Hit him with the little drop step elbow. Bang. Right in the middle of the lane. Lana Mona said Clarkson is showing up. Now, I like the way Clarkson is playing. I like the way Clarkson's playing. Every now and again, he's going to hit you with a shot you don't love, like he did earlier when he came in, started the second, where he shot that pull-up 3 in transition. Didn't love that shot, but outside of that, I really like the way he's playing. I do really like the way he's playing. Ivan said Clarkson is comfortable right now as a Knick. The league is in trouble. He is a lot more comfortable in the offense than he was to start the year. And like we said, he's going to play better as the year goes on. Hopefully the same with Yabusele, but he seems to be the odd man out right now, I will say. Mark said, put him on a poster, Big Cat. That was indeed a poster. That is a great poster. Towns right there, skying in the post Off the vert. Judge that to Nick should continue this until he gets 40 or fouls out. Towns is now up to 12 points here on 11 field goal attempts, which, isn't super efficient. But we are tied at 40 here. 5:36 to go here in the second quarter. The defense is ticking up here. We're past the halfway point, and the Wizards have only scored 10 points, which is nice. It's nice. Knicks have also scored 18 points after only scoring 22 in that first quarter. John Bouzlon said, nice hat. Appreciate you, John. Appreciate you, John. We are chefing it up over here. We are chefing it up tonight, for sure. I said, big Knicks fans always have a poster of Starks over Jordan and Pippen somewhere in their apartment. Very true, very true. Just that said, is Cat already a Hall of Famer? Yes. Yes, he is. It is very easy to make the Hall of Fame in the NBA. Very easy. Yes, he is. He is already a Hall of Famer for sure. Hip Hop Beat said the town slander has to stop. I'm trying to put a stop to it, Hip Hop. I'm trying to, but, some people going to do what they do. Some people have preconceived notions that they just never going to give up on. Lionel said borderline Hall of Famer. Yeah, probably borderline, but, Anthony said, damn the threes, you should post all day. Nah, man, you got to have a mix. You got to have multiple ways to get buckets. You got to mix in the threes. You got to mix in the post moves. You got to mix in the pick and roll. You got to mix in the pick and pops. Whether from three or from the mid-range, you got to get buckets in a variety of ways. It can't just be one way. Just that said, 40-40 isn't as bad as I thought would happen. Angela Harding said, where's your water? We stay hydrated over here, Angela. We stay hydrated over here. Here we go. We're back into it. Harrington bringing it down against Brunson. To get it over. Try to get it over to McCollum. The Knicks almost came over the steal with the ball. Bounces right back to McCollum. He drives it down. They swing it around. Good rotations from the Knicks there. Back up top. Marvin Bagley a three. That's the guy you'll live with shooting the three, and he misses it. Towns with the rebound. And some blood. So the referee's an official referee timeout here. Towns. Towns going back to the locker room. That's funny. Towns showed the ref he had blood on his hands. The ref calls an official timeout to stop the game, to clean up the blood. Towns walks towards the bench, looks at Yabusele. He's like, you got to get in. Yabusele's like, what? He's like, you need to get in the game. And Towns walks back to the locker room. That's very funny. It's a very funny moment. He's got to go get it taped up or whatever. I don't know how bad that cut is, but he's got to go get that cleaned up right now. It looked like blood on his hand, on his finger somewhere. Probably off of the dunk. But Yabusele's in the game now for Towns as he gets his hand cleaned up, sitting on the side of the bench there. Brunson hands it off to Hart. Hart coming to his right, hands it off to Anunoby. Anunoby gets it over to Yabusele. Yabusele hands it off to Brunson. Brunson pass fake. Pass fake again. Now he's got one-on-one against Coulibaly. Over to Anunoby. Back to Brunson. Jab step against Kaishan George. Good defense from George. Brunson driving it down. Little mid-range pull-up jumper. Great defense from Kaishan George as he secures the rebound there. Hit ahead to McCollum. McCollum bringing it down. Quick crossover to his right on Josh Hart. Down the lane. Floater off glass. Can't get it to go. Marvin Bagley pushes off on Yabusele, and they hit him with the loose ball foul call. Lanamonis said, is Mitch resting tonight? Yes, he is, Lanamonis. It is the second night of a back-to-back, and he is not playing. Not even a question. He will not play in second nights of back-to-back. So we knew he was going to be out tonight once they announced that he was playing against Chicago. Brunson will bring it down. Up top, coming to his right off the Yabu screen. Over to Yabu. Pass fake, driving it down. Now kicks it out to Anunoby. He's going to go along the baseline. Pump fakes. Gets stripped by Kaishan George again. Some really nice defensive plays from George here tonight. Get it over to Carrington, being guarded by Yabu. Down low to Bagley with Clarkson on him. Going to look to back him down. They bring the double team. They swing it around. McCollum, pass fake, step back three, pump fakes. Now gets it over to George. Josh Hart guarding him. Now over to Carrington. Carrington has it up top. Jab step coming to his right off the screen. Good defense from the Knicks so far. Carrington settles for the mid-range jumper over Brunson. Way strong, can't get it to go. Anunoby with the weak side rebound. We're pushing it the other way. We're still tied at 40. 4 minutes to go here. Anunoby up top to Yabu. Swings it over to Hart. Hart hands it off to Brunson. Brunson being guarded by George. Brunson cross-court to Clarkson. Clarkson's going to look to quickly attack. Now pulls it back out. Cross-court over to Brunson. Brunson jab step. Blows right past the defense in the lane. Can't get the little floater to go, but they call the foul on Carrington. So Brunson will at least go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Jay said Yabu is so big. I think the Giants could use him on the O-line. He is a big, big dude, man. He is a big dude. Kinar said Yabu to replace Scadaboo. I mean, who's really taking that man down? Who's really gonna push him around? Brunson knocks down the free throw. Kinar said it's an old age rule from the Magic Fear thing. I mean, it started as that, but now it's just a hygiene rule. Like, if there's blood out there, maybe we should stop play and make sure that player gets cleaned up and stop the bleeding. Now it's just a hygiene thing. Nobody wants blood everywhere. Nobody wants to be touching blood. A bloody ball, bloody jersey. Let's clean that up before it gets messy out there. Kind of just a hygiene rule now. But it started off as that for sure. For sure, started off as that. Brunson knocks down both free throws. Not a lot of free throws tonight. We'll say that. Bagley has it up top, hands it off to McCollum. Driving to his left. Step back three as Yabu and Anunoby don't communicate there. Fight for the rebound. Off the missed three. Anunoby tips it over to Hart. Hart shot out of the can and kicks it over to Clarkson on the pull-up three in transition. Gets fouled by Bagley. He's going to go to the foul line for 3 free throws. You love to see it, y'all. 3 free throws for Jordan Clarkson, who, again, is playing well so far tonight. Building on the nice game he had against Chicago. Clarkson's at the foul line for 3 free throws. Jay Hazy said, how does Clarkson always get managed to get fouled on the three? He's got like a long arm extension on the shot. Like some guys have like a little bit of flick and they hold it here. He's got like a long arm extension. Allows defenders to run into it pretty easily. My guess, Jay Hazy. That's my guess. Hattie said, get Huck in the game. Huck seems like he's relegated to the bench. Clarkson knocks down both free throws. He's got one more coming. Thank you for knocking down any free throws, Clarkson. Now just knock down this third one for me. I said if Clarkson can get fouled on lots of those threes, I'll like him a lot better. That's a high percentage play for sure. Getting to the foul line is always great. Clarkson knocks down all 3 free throws. He hit the front of the rim on the last one, but he gets a nice friendly roll as it goes over the top. Coulibaly gets it over to McCollum. McCollum on the left wing. McCollum. Good defense from Josh Hart, not giving him any open space. Josh Hart, I'm really impressed with his defense here tonight. Sprayed over to Carrington, stop, turn, spin, fall away jumper over Anunoby. Too strong, can't get it to go. Josh Hart rips away a rebound. He's very active tonight. I love it. Hit ahead inside to Anunoby, spins off of Carrington, kicks it out. Clarkson, open 3, line me up. Jordan Clarkson, baby. JC, former 6th man of the year. Another great game from Jordan Clarkson as the Knicks go up by 8 here. Coulibaly crosses over on Yabu down the lane. Scooblet with the left hand can't get it to go, but that's because they call a foul. And so Coulibaly will go to the foul line for 2 free throws here. Mark L, what's up, Mark? I feel like I haven't seen you all season, my man. Appreciate you, man. Happy to see you. Mark said, so when are you going to rock the green turtleneck and do the floating head game? Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I'm going to have to be on the lookout for the green turtleneck for sure. For sure. I could also just buy the green morph suit. I could just go on Amazon, buy a green morph suit, do the floating head game for sure. We could do that. Just that said Clarkson, plus 15 so far. You know I hate that just that. You know I hate that stat. But in this case, to speak of facts, he's been great. Hattie said Yabu's too slow. Yeah. Yabu is not great so far. Has not been great so far for the Knicks this season. Coulibaly misses the second free throw. He splits the pair. Brunson bringing it down. Inside pass to Anunoby as the Wizards don't get back on defense and an easy 2-handed slam. A gorgeous pass from Jalen Brunson. Not a good pass, a gorgeous pass from JB. CJ McCollum on the right wing, up top to Trey Johnson, up top to Johnson, hands it off to Sarr, gets it back to McCollum, bounce past the Sarr, down the lane, goes up. Great defense from Jordan Clarkson, going straight up to contest the Sarr layup. Sarr was still able to finish over him. He does have the height advantage there. We're going to get some subs into the game here. Towns is back in for Yabu. $43-50 here. Josh Hart's going to bring it down. 2 minutes to go here in the second. 43-50. Josh Hart fakes the handoff to Brunson. Gets it out to Clarkson. I love what I'm seeing from Clarkson here tonight. Clarkson has it up top. Coming to his right off the Town screen. Blowing past Sarr. Tries to leave it off for Anunoby. Inside pass to Towns. Towns has it in the post. Drop step again. A little fall away mid-range jumper in the paint. Well short, can't get it to go. Here comes George bringing it down. Pulls it back out. Brunson trying to go for the steal. Kaishan George keeping his handle. Up top to Sarr. Sarr fakes the handoff. Now hands it off to George. Coming to his left. Driving it down against Brunson. He's got the size advantage. Puts up the floater. Gets the floater to go. A lot of contact as Anunoby came over for the contest. And Kaishan George got the finish to go anyway. Brunson bringing it down. I'm really impressed with his poise. Brunson spinning off of Coulibaly. And they call a foul on Jalen Brunson using the off arm to try to fend off of Coulibaly there. You rarely see Brunson get hit with the offensive fouls like that. You know, Arson, if Clarkson's going to defend like that and get fouled in threes, I'm going to turn my opinion on him. I mean, I've said there's a lot to like about Clarkson. There's a lot to dislike about Clarkson. As Coulibaly knocks down his second three of the game. And it's back to a 2-point game. So all that celebrating I just did is back to a 2-point game. The Wizards don't go away quietly. You're going to have to beat them. Towns has it up top, hands it off to Bridges, coming to his right, curling off the Town screen, scoop back all the way to the rim, scoop layup, can't get it to go. He's looking for the ref for a foul. He doesn't get it. Here comes Kaishan George, throws the lob inside the Sarr. He comes down with it as he didn't have an angle to the basket. Back over to Coulibaly, who knocks down a 3 and 1 for Bilal Coulibaly. Of course tonight is the night he's going to go off from 3-point range. Of course, right, guys? Of course, it's the New York Knicks. It's the Garden. My man is shooting 22% from 3. Of course tonight is the night he's going to go off from 3. Just that's a bench Hart, please. Hart has been pretty good tonight. So far he's played pretty good defense. He's rebounding well. He's pushing the pace. He's doing the things that I want Josh Hart to do. That's a pretty bad foul there, though. Coulibaly knocks down his and 1 free throw. Knicks back down by 2 on an 11-0 run for the Wizards here. Brunson coming to his left, a pull-up 3 for JB. Don't love that shot. Can't get it to go. Don't love the no-pass shot attempts. I'm going to call it out every time we see it, man. Don't like it. Kaishan George has it up top. George coming to his right off the Sarr screen. A pull-up 3 for George. Can't get that one to go. Sarr right there for the follow and the two-handed putback. Anunoby walks into a straightaway pull-up 3 as nobody's there to guard him, and he splashes it. Again, 3 points right back. Okay, it's a 1-point game, 24 seconds to go. The Wizards will hold it for what should be the final shot of the quarter here. Kaishan George has it up top, being guarded by OG. George is going to wind down the clock. It's about a 2-second difference between game clock and shot clock, but it should be the final shot of the quarter here. George driving it down, spins, little fall away. Good help from Bridges. Comes up with the block. Josh Hart with the steal. The Knicks have an opportunity here. Josh Hart pushing over to Towns. Towns, pump fakes, now puts up the deep one. Got me to go, and the foul at the buzzer, baby. Karl-Anthony Towns, line me up. 4-point play for Karl-Anthony Towns. Now knock down my free throw. Knock down my free throw, big cat. Knock down my free throw. Karl-Anthony Towns has been a star tonight. Been excellent. Been excellent. Not good, not great, excellent. Greg said bad defense. They've had good defense majority of the night, and they've had bad defense in spurts, Greg. It's weird. It's a weird night. It's been a weird night, Greg. Because I think, yeah, the defense hasn't been good, especially if you have bad spurts. I'm going to say your defense is not good. But there have been times where they've been very dominant defensively tonight. And that's when they were down 10, and that's when they came back, and then they went up by 8. And that's when the defense was good. But then they go on these spurts where they Defense is not good. It's a weird game, Greg. Weird game. Weird game from the Knicks, up and down. I will say, though, pretty entertaining for the most part. I said Town starting to cook. I said he should have been resting that quad last few. Yeah, and he's looking more spry. He's moving much better. He's looking a little more spry, moving much better. Maybe the quad is injuring. Hopefully not. Maybe the quad is healing as he's been playing. Big runs in the NBA is weird. Extremely weird. Extremely weird. The Suns just dominated the Spurs the other night. Dre9525, what's up, Dre? Line me up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keenar said Team Wemby by himself would be a problem. Greg said, no, you must switch, stunt, and recover. They are switching, they are stunting, and they are recovering. It's a 48-minute game, brother. Defenses will break down at some point. Hip Hop Beat said, Towns going for a triple-double tonight? We're going to have to go through the box score. Is he on triple-double watch, Hip Hop? Is he on triple-double watch? He's got 10 rebounds already. He's already got the double-double. What's the assist looking like? They put 0.4 back on the clock for the Wizards here. Towns knocks down his free throw. Thank you. Knicks take a 3-point lead in halftime. They do take the 3-point lead in halftime as the Keyshawn George three-quarters court heave comes up short. And that will be it for the first half here of Knicks versus Wizards. And, weird up and down game for the Knicks and the Wizards. Not bad. Not bad. (16-10), 5 assists for Karl-Anthony Towns. Let's go through it. Jump right into box scores. We'll start with the Wizards. Start with the away team. Champagnie only played 9 minutes. He was pretty ineffective for the most part. Did not really do a whole lot for his team. Come on, green screen. Why do you keep embarrassing me? Why do you keep doing this to me? Champagnie only played 9 minutes. Most of them came in that first half. Wasn't very effective. Scored the 2 points, only 1 rebound, 1 assist. We get over to George. Only 7 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals. I think for the most part, the Knicks are doing a really good job of holding him down. He's 3 for 7 from the floor. Alex Sarr, getting off a little bit offensively. 13 points from him. 5 total rebounds, 5 total assists for Alex Sarr. Maybe he's on triple-double watch as well as Karl-Anthony Towns. CJ McCollum, only 2 points. He's been pretty miserable tonight overall. He is 1 for 5 from the floor and 0 for 3 from three-point range. The guy who has kept this Wizards team in it and was the catalyst for that little comeback, that 11-0 run that the Wizards went on, was Bilal Coulibaly. 15 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, a steal. He is 5 for 7 from the floor, 3 for 4 from three-point range. Not bad for a guy who's shooting 22% from three-point range coming into tonight on a very, very low volume, obviously, as he only played 2 games so far this year. Tonight is his 3rd game. Green screen messing up again. Yo, green screen, get your act together, big dog. Why do I have to keep adjusting you? If I pull any more from the other side, it's going to, look at that, it's coming loose. Come on, green screen. See, I still don't like that. I still don't like it. I got to put something. I have a solution for this. Now I'm pulling both sides. I have a solution for this, but I need time. Maybe tomorrow. I can do it. I got to go to the store. I got a solution for this. It's pissing me off. But Russell Field, what's up, Russell? Is your shirt supposed to be Knicks gear, or is it just that color? It's just this color, brother. This is not Knicks gear. This is green. The Knicks don't have green. Orange. Red. The Knicks don't have red. Blue. This is not Knicks blue. What else color we got? I think that's it. Bernard Johnson. What's up, Bernard? Where's the Knicks defense so far this season? Hello, Sheffy, and everyone in the chat. The defense has not been terrible. I think the defense overall has been mostly good, with some spurts of being really, really bad. When it's bad, it's bad. But it's similar to the offense. It's a new defensive style. You got Mitchell Robinson in and out of the lineup, which obviously isn't good and doesn't help with chemistry and whatnot. You had Towns dealing with a quad injury, who was playing majority center. with Mitchell Robinson out. So that's obviously not good as it limits his mobility. Part of the reason why the defense is going to suffer a little bit to start the year. I do predict it'll be hovering around 10 this season in terms of defensive efficiency rating as a team. Their offense should be around 5, like one of the 5 best offenses in the league this year. We'll see. A lot of really good offenses to start the year. We'll see who keeps up this trend. But Knicks have too much talent. Koulibaly has been the guy leading the way. Sarr also chipping in as well. He's 5 for 9. These two guys have been very, very good for the Wizards tonight, keeping them in the game. Off the bench, Corey Kispert has been solid with his 7 points. He's 3 for 3 from the field. Outside of that, not a whole lot. Trey Johnson, the rookie, did chip in 4. Marvin Bagley did chip in 4, which is nice. But Carrington not giving them anything. He's 0 for 2. Cam Whitmore didn't give him anything in his 6 minutes. Will Riley was out there looking like a 14-year-old. My man looks young out there. Will Riley 0 for 2 from the foul line. He missed both free throws. Not a great sighting for Will Riley there. Stay S. What's up, Stay? Really appreciate your play-by-play. I subbed. I'm able to listen and keep up with the game while I work. Well done. Appreciate you, Stay. Appreciate you. Guys like you or people like you, Stay, are the reason why we started doing this in the first place. You know, it was just a hobby and just a way to interact with other basketball fans and other Knicks fans. And then it just kind of snowballed into something bigger and bigger and bigger. And now here we are doing a full show every game for the Knicks. So I appreciate you, Stay. We do every single Knicks game. So we will be live for every single Knicks game. We do not miss games, whether they are summer league or preseason or regular season or playoffs. It does not matter. We will be live. And then when the Knicks don't play, we are live Monday through Friday or Monday through the weekend. We will find another NBA game to watch if the Knicks are not playing that night, like tomorrow night, which is a great segue to tomorrow. After we go through the Knicks box scores, of course. Mark, what's up, Mark? If this is our year, they're going to give us cardiac Knicks all season long. Yeah, it's not a good Knicks game if they're not giving us cardiac Knicks. If it's not a cardiac Knicks affair, for sure. We got multiple marks in the chat. My bad, Mark. Got multiple marks. We got green Mark, and then we got regular moderator Mark. 2 marks. 2 marks is 1 mark too many. The Fleas, what's up, Fleas? Cam Whitmore is an enigma. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. You don't know what you're going to get from him. The guy's insanely talented, but is a bit of a head case. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to analyze Cam Whitmore as a basketball player. I really don't. But to the Knicks box score, OG Anunoby with 16. Karl Anthony Towns with 16. OG Anunoby with 11. Landry Shamet did not score in his 10 minutes. Mikal Bridges with 5. Jalen Brunson with 9. Pretty even scoring throughout, not bad. Off the bench, Jordan Clarkson was phenomenal. I want to give some love to Jordan Clarkson because obviously we were a little hard on him to start the year. Jordan Clarkson with 10 points off the bench in the first half. Pretty fantastic. 3 for 4 from the field, 1 for 2 from three-point range. The one he missed was the one shot where I was like, don't like that one at all. Mark L2, we got technically 3 marks in the chat. Green Mark said there's always a mark everywhere. Very true. DCL Love, what's up, DCL? Yabusele in his 8 minutes were like, fine, I guess. You know, the Yabusele thing does not look good for the long run. Does not seem to be acclimating to this team the way Clarkson is. At least Clarkson is starting to get it go. Josh Hart, I thought was pretty solid. 2 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists for Josh Hart. I thought the defense was also pretty solid outside of the one bad foul he had on Koulibaly for the 4-point play. And McBride in his 9 minutes, he knocked down a 3, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. I thought he was solid as well. Really good. Didn't particularly stand out too much, but was really solid. And I think that's all you really want. I think you want, at worst, you want your guys to be solid. And then at best, you want a guy like Jordan Clarkson. And if one of your 4 guys off the bench can come into the game and be super impactful the way Clarkson was, then all you need from the other guys are to be super solid, right? So I'm really good with the way Josh Hart's played tonight. I'm really good with the way Deuce McBride has played tonight. And I love the way Clarkson has played tonight. Obviously, the defense, we want to tick up and be a little bit better. 54 points in the first half for a Washington Wizards team. You want that to be a little bit lower, but still. I forgot also Bucks versus Pacers tonight is a bit of a takes on a little extra oomph to it with the return of Miles Turner in Indiana. So let's go around the league real quick, and then I will also put in the chat the poll for tomorrow night's game. Actually, I don't have to because I know what game we're doing tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we will. All right. You want to stop flipping out, ESPN? Can I click a thing here? Why are we? What is going on? What is going on? Okay. So tomorrow's game, I can tell you right now, we don't have to do the poll because I know exactly what we're watching. We are watching the Magic play the Hawks, and I know Trae Young is out. I know he is out. You might be asking, okay, well, why don't we just do a different game? The reason why I want to do Magic versus Hawks is because, number one, it's an NBC Peacock game, primetime game. Let's watch it. It's going to be good, whether Trae Young plays or not. That's number one. But number two, we have yet to see the Magic play this season, whether preseason or otherwise. And I want to see the Magic play because obviously everybody's high on the Magic, and the Magic should be good. They should be there come the end of the season in the playoffs. It's going to be one of those teams you're going to have to go through in order to make your championship run. So I do want to watch the Magic here early in the season as they're starting to figure things out. But the other games that are available, Bucks-Raptors, we watched the Bucks play. We've seen the Raptors play multiple times. So, I think that's going to be an interesting game, but not super interesting. So not definitely a go-to. You got 76ers Bulls, which is interesting because they're the top two teams in the conference. But we've seen the 76ers play multiple times. But not during the regular season, in the preseason when they were still not healthy. And we just watched two Bulls games, so put that to the side for now. There are other 76ers games we could watch as the season goes on. And then after that, you got Hornets, Pelicans, bottom of the barrel. We don't have to watch that. Not interested. And then you get to the late games. Obviously, you guys know it's a little difficult for me to do the late games, having to wake up early in the morning for work. But you got Suns, Warriors, which I'm not really interested in watching the Suns. And then you got Thunder, Clippers. Not really interested in watching the Clippers. I think the Thunder are going to run away with that one. That was the late NBC game anyway. So we're going to watch Magic Hawks. I think it's going to be a fun, interesting game. It is an NBC game. So if there's a national televised game, I think I'm going to lean toward doing the nationally televised game because usually those teams show up to play the games and they end up being the best games whether teams are hurt or not. So tomorrow we will be watching the 8 o'clock Magic versus Hawks game. Just thought I'd let you guys know that now. But going through around the league real quick here, Greg said, boo, work. I know, Greg. I know, man. Look, man, I do work, right? I go to work my normal day job, and then we come here, and we do this at night. The amount of energy I'm trying to put out throughout a 24-hour day period, kind of crazy. I'm used to it, though. I got ways to energize. Hip Hop said we should try to trade for Kessler before the deadline. I don't think Robinson, Yabu, Hook, big man rotation is going to cut it. How are you going to trade for Walker Kessler? How are you going to trade for Walker Kessler, Hip Hop? He's gotten off to a phenomenal start this season. The original asking price when the Knicks checked in with Utah about Kessler was 2 first-round picks. The Knicks don't have 2 first-round picks to trade. So even if they wanted to trade for Kessler, they're not going to be able to trade for Kessler. Kinar said in response, we don't have space under the cap at the moment to do much. Also, Kessler didn't get traded in the offseason because Ainge was asking King's ransom. A lot of people want Kessler and can't. Yeah. Perfectly said, Kinar. If the Knicks could trade for Walker Kessler, they would have done it, right? They inquired about Walker Kessler last year before they even made the Karl-Anthony Towns trade, and they were like, what is that asking? 2 first-round picks and a young player? Like, come on, man. For Walker Kessler, he's gone off to a fantastic start of the year, so best believe that price ain't coming down, and if anything, it's shooting up. So there's almost no possible way the Knicks are going to be able to trade for Walker Kessler. Craig said we got plenty of talent. I tend to agree with you, Craig. I I tend to agree with you, Greg, about that. I think the Knicks have plenty of talent. Small move around the margins. Like I said earlier, if the Yabusele thing does not work out in the long run, expect the Knicks to make a move. Expect the Knicks to move on from Yabusele and trade him at the deadline and try to improve the team. No sense in holding on to a guy who is not working out who's not fitting on your team, not fitting on your roster. Would make sense for the Knicks to do that. I said, well, Jemison might take minutes if Yabu doesn't get his act together. Yeah, I mean, Jemison was pretty good in the minutes he got. You're not wrong about that, Kenara. You're not wrong about that. Absolutely not wrong with that. That is a good point. Jemison is right there at any point. I mean, Huck Porty's right there at any point as well. Yabu got to get his act together. Minnesota to Brooklyn is tied at 88, by the way. I mean, this is a team that has championship aspirations. They're tied with the winless Brooklyn Nets. Cam Thomas with 22. Michael Porter Jr. is not even playing. They don't even have Michael Porter Jr. out there. And it's a 1-point game. Minnesota also doesn't have Anthony Edwards, who remains out with injury. All right, here we go. We're checking back in to start the second half here. So let's lock in. Bucks Pacers is the game I wanted to check out as well. Very interesting game. But here we go. Start of the third quarter. So here we go. Full screen it. We got an interview with Chris Gent, who I believe is the offensive coordinator for the Knicks. He's the associate head coach, but here we go. Start of the third quarter. Both teams bring out their starting five to start the game. That's Champagnie, George, Sarr, McCollum, and Coulibaly for the Wizards. As for the Knicks, it's Anunoby, Towns, Bridges, Shamet, and Brunson. Stay, as said, we definitely do have the talent and talent to be created with our current roster. Absolutely, Stay. Absolutely. Brunson has it up top. Here we go. Start of the third. You get it down low to Anunoby in the post against Coulibaly. Gets it knocked out of his hands, and they call a late foul call. Coulibaly is not happy with the call. $57-54 here. Brunson will inbound it. Get it into Towns, a fresh 14 on the shot clock. Cross court to Shamet, left corner three, he's open. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Anunoby had it, lost it, knocked out of bounds. And last touch by Anunoby. Ball will go back to the Wizards here. Also, I just realized no Chris Middleton. That's who Champagnie is starting for. So McCollum's going to bring it down against Bridges. Knicks with a 3-point lead, courtesy of a Karl-Anthony Towns buzzer beater before halftime. Kaishan George driving it down, kicks it out McCollum. Wide open left corner three, and he continues to misfire. Brutal night for C.J. McCollum. Shaman with a weak side rebound. Here comes Brunson. Over to Towns, back to Brunson. Coming to his left, putting his head down, attacking in the lane, puts up the floater, can't get it to go. Shaman knocks the rebound all the way out to Towns. Towns driving it down against Sarr. Stops, turns, spins, step back, pump fakes. Over to Bridges, over to Shaman. Shaman lost the handle, so he gets it back up top to Bridges. Over to Anunoby, hands it off to Brunson. Brunson dancing with it against McCollum. Down the lane, throws up the floater. Brunson gets it up on the rim. He gets a nice soft bounce as he gets it to drop down. Coulibaly on the left wing being guarded by Shamet. Up top to Sarr. Sarr hits Coulibaly, coming back door. Gets stripped by Shamet. Good hands. Bridges was also there. Not sure which one of them got it, but the Knicks with the steal there. Brunson driving it down. Hits Bridges, coming back door. Out to Shamet. Shamet back to Bridges in the right corner. Bridges jab step, driving it down. Back to Shamet. Sets his feet. Fires from three. Continuing to misfire. That time way too long. Coulibaly with the rebound. Up top to McCollum. They spring it over to George. George sets his feet and fires over Towns on the mismatch. Can't get it to go. Bridges with a weak side rebound. Both teams come out misfiring. Bridges over to Towns. Towns pump fakes. Got George on him, so he's got the size and strength advantage. And Kaishan George takes a dive, and they get Karl-Anthony Towns with the offensive foul. He knew Towns was going to Go right into him with that shoulder. Kaishan George timed it perfectly and just took the hit right in the chest. Offensive foul on Towns. McCollum gets it over to George. George gets it poked out of his hands by Bridges. Excellent. Brunson hit ahead to Anunoby. Anunoby throws a lob to Bridges. A terrible lob attempt from Anunoby. A terrible pass. And Bridges can't get to it, and it's a turnover over to Sarr. Sarr driving it down right into Brunson. No foul call. Brunson trying to flop and draw the charge. Can't get it. McCollum misses another shot with the floater there in the lane. Towns with another rebound. Now Shamet bringing it down. Gets it over to Towns. Towns up top. Pump fakes. Hands it off to Brunson. Brunson being guarded by Champagnie. As my stream freezes and buffers. Great. Thanks, Gotham Sports app. Now we're back, and Brunson bounce past the Towns. Towns down the lane. Takes a little contact. Gets a layup to go. And one. Karl-Anthony Towns on a little reach in there. So Towns going to the foul line for one more as he continues his stellar offensive night. How am I live? How am I live when I buffered? Gotham Sports app is not a good app, y'all. It is not a good app. Just as that said, Mikal is the anti-highlight player for sure. For sure, he's just solid. He's just solid. Not gonna give you any highlights for sure. Elmar J. Ebrio? Malloy Loyon? What's up, Elmar? How many points does Clarkson score on the first half? Clarkson scored 10 points in the first half. Towns does knock down his and one free throw. Knicks back up by 8 here. Kaishan George all the way down the lane. Splits the defense, gets the easy layup out of it. Towns hits Brunson cutting back door. Over to Shamet, left corner 3. And Landry Shamet finally delivers, knocking down the open corner 3. And we get a timeout from the Washington Wizards. Want to talk a couple of things over. Landry Shamet may be unleashed, and once that happens, the three-point shot should start falling for the Knicks all around. This is why you keep shooting them, y'all. Why you keep shooting them. Anthony said, I usually hate Cat, but tonight I respect him. I don't know how you could hate Cat, brother. You'd be annoyed by him, but I don't understand the hate. I really don't. You could be annoyed by him, but I don't understand the hate. As the stream continues to buffer. Come on. Come on. Go ahead, hit refresh here. Hope that doesn't mess everything up. All right, we're back in. We're good. Anthony said he's too soft. He's literally playing through injuries multiple times during his Knicks tenure. It is literally a talking point that people who don't watch Karl-Anthony Towns use against Karl-Anthony Towns all the time, my brother. Don't use talking points that aren't factually able to be backed up, my man. Greg said, you don't even know the guy. Very true. You know, I said, yeah, Cat is a likable guy. Don't like the offensive fouls and the defense, but I like the person. Yeah. I mean, look, man, he makes bad decisions. That is the annoying part. Not a good decision maker. The offensive fouls, some of the defensive decisions and whatnot. But Daniel Tilson said, can't hate if you don't know. Hate is a strong word. And I know what you mean. You don't mean like you hate the person. I know you mean you hate his play style and whatnot, but I just don't understand it. I really don't. You'd be annoyed by it. I'm definitely annoyed by it. But and you'll see me react to the offensive fouls when they happen. Right? When he does that arm pull going to the basket, happens at least once a game. He has not done it in a while. Maybe Mike Brown is gonna be the coach that beats it out of him. But when he drives to the rim and he pulls the offensive player's arm right in front of the ref every single time he gets called for, I don't think he's ever gotten away with it. Incredibly annoying. I said Cat's basketball IQ won't be confused with Larry Bird. No, it will not. No, it will not. Keanu Bryan said Cat is a great personality. He is. He's a good dude. Great dude. Here we go. Kaishan George up top. Over to McCollum, over to Sarr. Sarr has it up top being guarded by Towns. Hands it off to George. George coming to his left onto swing through. Back up top to Sarr. They run him off the line. He's going to put his head down and attack. Puts up the floater. Can't get it to go. Battle for the offensive glass. Can't get it to go. Fighting for the rebound yet again. Out of bounds. Staying with the Wizards. Out of bounds off of Shamit, who's down there battling on the glass with Towns. Got to get somebody else down there to battle on the glass. Here comes Josh Hart. That's a guy who's going to battle on the glass for sure. So Hart's going to come in for Shamit, I assume. Josh Hart comes in for Mikal Bridges. Bridges to the bench. Knicks with a 9-point lead here. Wizards with the ball. They get it into Coulibaly, being guarded by Shamit. Up top to George, being guarded by Anunoby. George driving it down, leans in. Nice over-the-top pass to Sarr for the easy layup. Towns got to get his hands up. Got to be able to deter that lob pass away. Brunson bringing it down against George. Now over to Anunoby. Anunoby hands it off to Hart. Hart over to Towns. Towns up top, hands it off to Shamit. Shamit off the handoff, puts up the three. Can't get it to go, but that's because there was contact on the three-point attempt. Landry Shamit to the foul line for 3 free throws, y'all. Love to see it. Love to see it. Stay said, people have to separate who a person is off the court and on the court. Cat has his issues, but usually makes up for it with rebounds and assistant points. To be fair to Anthony, I don't think he was talking about personally. I don't think he meant he personally hated Cat. I do think Anthony meant he hated his game and his play style. Which I don't understand, but that's how you feel. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. Shaman knocked down the first free throw. Thank you for knocking down your free throw, Shaman. You got 2 more coming, brother. Knock down your free throws. Knock down your free throws. Shaman knocks down the second one. Landry Shaman has started the year phenomenally. Been fantastic. Give us the 10-point lead, Landry. Give us that 10-point lead. Hip Hop said Towns is a top 4 big in the league. Not debatable. Hannah Harris said Wemby, Jokic, Giannis, AD clearly better. Hip Hop said AD is not better, too injury prone. I mean, if you want to factor in the injury proneness, I think Anthony Davis is a better overall basketball player, but if you want to factor in the injuries, yeah, you could throw Towns above him. Knicks with a 10-point lead as Shaman knocked down all 3 free throws. Brunson guarding Coulibaly here. Jab step coming to his right. Over the top pass. Shaman is there to meet Sarr. Sarr puts up the floater anyway over Shaman and over Towns, and he gets it to go down anyway. And Brunson hands it off to Shaman. Back to Brunson. Brunson coming to his left. Being guarded by Coulibaly. Now up top to Towns. He's going to settle for a deep 3. Too short, can't get it to go. Coulibaly comes in for the rebound, and he'll bring it down now. Hit ahead to George. Anunoby's going to pick him up. Now over to Coulibaly. Now into Sarr. Sarr at the high post. Hand it off to George. Now over to Sarr. Back to George. Shaman guarding him. Coming to his right. Cross-court pass. Champagnie, a left corner 3. Well short, can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Sarr comes in. He can't snag it, though. And the Knicks are off and running, pushing the other way as Josh Hart picks it up. Over to Brunson. Brunson swings through down the lane. High floater with the left hand. Got me to go. And the foul for JB as the Knicks are starting to mount a larger and larger lead. Knicks back up by 10 with Brunson going to the foul line for 1 more. Beautiful move by Brunson, by the way. I should wax poetic more and more about this move, though. Down the lane, finger roll high in the air. A little Steph Curry-esque there from JB. Finger roll high in the air over the outstretched hands of Coulibaly, who came over for the block. Ends up fouling him. Very Steph Curry-esque there. I gotta sneeze. Right there. Please don't go away, Sneeze. Come on, Sneeze. Oh, God damn it. Don't you hate it when you got to sneeze and then it just goes away on you? Come on, Sneeze. Get out of here. Coulibaly has 4 fouls. He's relegated to the bench now. Brunson gets his free throw to go. George, cross-court pass to Carrington, who subbed in. Now over to McCollum, who finally knocks down a shot there out of the right corner with Josh Hart right in his face. They get it over to Shamit. Shamit dancing with it, pulls it back out, swings it over to Josh Hart on the left wing. Hart swings through to his right off a town screen. Cross-court to Anunoby, right corner 3 trying to answer. And OG Anunoby answers 3 for 3, knocking it down from the right corner. Carrington over to Sarr. Sarr has it up top, being guarded by Towns. Swings through to his left, down the lane, leaves it off for Champagnie, who can't knock down the reverse layup, but does draw the foul on Landry Shaman, who raises his hand. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws there. Alex Sarr now is getting very, very active in the offense right now for the Wizards. Using him out of the hub, using him out of the short roll. He's been very good so far after that first quarter. Champagnie knocks down the free throw, knocking it back to 10. Shot callers, what's up, shot callers? Happy to see you. MBM said foot on the neck. For sure. For sure. Champagnie knocks down both free throws. Knicks are in the bonus for the final half of this third quarter. 6:30 to go. 9-point lead for the Knicks. Brunson gets it out to Towns. Towns putting his head down, attacking to his right. Pulls it back out. Gets it back out to Brunson. Now Brunson coming to his right off the Town screen. Brunson pulls it back, crosses over to Josh Hart. He's going to pump fake, drive it down in the lane. Scoop layup, gets it to go with the right hand. Josh Hart slicing and dicing down the lane for the easy layup. That is the Josh Hart I know and love. Sarr has it up top, being guarded by Towns. Hands it off to McCollum. Anunoby chasing. McCollum back up top to Sarr. Sarr fakes the handoff. Tries to get it up top to McCollum. Anunoby jumps the passing lane, and he gets an easy two-handed slam out of it. Beautiful defense leading the offense there for OG Anunoby. And a timeout for the Wizards as the Knicks jump up to a 13-point lead now. Foot on the neck. Like you guys said, don't stop. Keep it going. DCL Love said, Loki, OG's been on fire. OG's now up to 16 points, 7 for 11 from the field. Towns leads the way with 19. Brunson chipping in with 14. Just a good overall team offensive game so far here tonight. Keenan Hart said, I'll take Kessler over Cat right now too. This is crazy. What is going on with the Cat slander tonight? This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. What is going on with this Cat slander? Hey, Pop said, you don't know ball. If you would take Kessler over Towns, I would take Kessler over Robinson. I would take Kessler over Robinson just for the health. You know Kessler's going to play. And you guys know Mitchell Robinson's my guy. My guy. This is why I would never be able to have been an NBA GM. Not that anybody's asking me to. I'd make terrible decisions. But I'm way too emotionally attached. I would never be able to trade Mitchell Robinson. I'd be like, no, I drafted him. And we developed him. Look at him. He's great. He's the best offensive rebounder in the league. I know he can't stay healthy, but that's my guy. I'm going to be heartbroken the day Mitchell Robinson is no longer wearing a Knicks uniform. I'm going to be heartbroken, y'all. Going to be heartbroken. Greg said Big Purr gets no love. Very little, man. There's very little love. And we should be loving on Big Cat, man. Should be loving on Big Cat. You don't know what you have until it's gone. Just the same way people are reminiscing about having Julius Randle when he was here. Julius Randle's off to a great start in the season this year. I've seen a lot of Julius Randle love on the Knicks Twitter timeline lately. And I got to tell you, I was happy to move on from Randle. I did like Randle, and I was. You guys know because we were here. We talked about it. I was bought into the Julius Randle revenge season. But, you know, it was time to move on, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I got to blow my nose. Hold on. And I'm going to mute myself so y'all don't hear it this time. Cool. Let's do it. We're back into it. Karan Clark, what's up, Karan Clark? Happy to see you again, my brother. Basketball Jones 7, love that cat. Appreciate you, Basketball Jones, and I know Carl Anthony Towns appreciate you too. We need to balance out the negativity with some of the cat positivity, right? We need a balance. Can't be all negativity in the chat for cat. Who's out there supporting big Carl Anthony Towns? Here we go. We're past the halfway point. 5:30 to go. George kicks it out. McCollum, another three off the right wing. Can't get it to go. Yabusele, good box out there. Clarkson comes in, secures the rebound. Quick hit ahead to Bridges. We come out with Brunson, Clarkson, Bridges, Hart, and Yabusele. The Wizards come out with George, McCollum, Bub Carrington, Bagley, and Champagnie. Brunson over to Bridges. A right wing three from Mikal. Line me up. Mikal Bridges, right on time, brother. Right on time, knocking down the three. Knicks up by 16 now. This is when you pull away halfway through the third. And an offensive foul. Bub Carrington setting an illegal screen on my man Josh Hart. Stop playing with Josh. Keep him off the floor. My man is playing through injury. Josh Hart's a warrior, man. That is a warrior of a basketball player right there. 5 minutes to go. Brunson, beautiful in and out move. Mid-range pull-up jumper. Got it to go. Left Bub Carrington in the dust. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. 18-point lead for the Knicks. Give me the 20. Trey Johnson has it up top. Coming to his left off a Bagley screen. Clarkson chasing. Johnson fends him off well. Puts up the floater well short. Good, big, strong rebound from Yabusele. Quick outlet to Josh. Now we're quickly pushing the other way. Josh Hart loses the handle. Able to save it from going out of bounds. Over to Yabusele. He has it up top. Looking for a handoff partner, hands it off to Bridges. Bridges coming to his right off the Yabu rescreen. Bridges dancing with it, shoves it over to Yabu, back to Bridges. Bridges coming to his right off the screen, down the lane, gets into the paint, kicks it out to Clarkson. Clarkson throws up the floater, got it to go. Jordan Clarkson continues his good play. Jordan Clarkson's getting me excited, y'all. He's getting me excited as the Knicks are up 20. This is what we wanted to see. Like I said, expect halfway through the third quarter. I said this in the pregame. Rewind the stream and go check it. I said exactly what was going to happen in this game, in the pregame. I told you the exact script. They sent me the script this morning. I tried to put you on game, and y'all didn't believe me. Josh Hart straight away three, line me up. Line me up, Big Josh. I could have told you that was going down 3 minutes ago because I read the script already. Josh Hart lining it up from three. This game is over. 23-point lead for the Knicks. They're on a 14-0 run with 2.5 to go here in the third quarter. 3:40 to go. Champagne's got to fire a deep three. We're not worried about it as the shot is off. Brunson comes in for the rebound. Put me up 25 at least, JB. Make it happen. Driving it down, step back, crossover over to Yabu. Yabu with the head nod back to Brunson. Yeah, come get it, JB. JB coming to his right. Pocket pass to Yabu. Down the lane, shuffling, shakes it out. Josh Hart, extra pass. Clarkson, oh, three. Line me up. Line me up, Jordan Clarkson for three. And a timeout by the Washington Wizards as this game has been fully broken open and it's over. It's time to celebrate. It's time to have a good time. How are y'all doing, man? How are y'all doing? Because the game is over. We got a full 12 minutes to play. We're going to get rookies in the second half, best believe, because we got Mike Brown as the coach. We don't got Tom Thibodeau anymore. That's what I've been trying to tell you all night long. The Wizards are going to hang around, and then at some point in the third quarter, closing out the third quarter, maybe it goes into the fourth, but the Knicks were going to pull away because that's what happens. That's what happened. I tried to tell you guys. Some of y'all didn't listen. Some of y'all did, but some of y'all didn't listen. Y'all wanted them to do this in the first quarter, and I tried to tell you, the Wizards are spunky. They're going to hang around for a little bit, but come the second half, the Knicks were going to pull away, and here we are, Knicks with a 26-point lead. Courtesy of everybody, by the way. Courtesy of everybody. Everybody's chipping in here. Everybody's getting in on the action. Nobody's left out of the party right now. I mean, Yabusele's in with 1 point, but even still, the way he's been playing out of the top as the hub, maybe he's getting a little bit into it right now. Maybe he's starting to understand what his role is going to be with this team. Not necessarily as a scorer, not necessarily as a shooter, but as a distributor out of the hub. Like, he don't even have an assist. But the way he's moving the rock right now is fire. It's fire. Mark said there's too many threes. Talk to him, Mark. Talk to him. Talk to him. It's just about getting the rhythm, knocking down the shots, understanding where your shots are going to come from. Clarkson knocking them down. Bridges knocking, even Josh Hart knocking down threes. Come on, man. Carrington has it up top. Give me another stop. Give me another score. Give me another stop and another score. Carrington coming to his left. Kicks it out to Kisper, and they turn it over. Another stop. Keep it going. Don't stop. Don't stop getting the stops. 3 minutes to go here in this third quarter. We got a whole other quarter of basketball to go through. And it should be a fun fourth quarter because I want to see Mo Diawara out there. I want to see Tyler Kolek. Throw in some Huck Porty. Maybe we can get some Jemison, some Tosan and Woma. Maybe. I don't know if he's dressed and ready to play. But Yabusele knocks down this three. I'm going to go crazy. Can't get that one to go. Yeah, but we need you to get on track, big dog. We need you to get on track. Cam Whitmore driving it down, loses the handle, picks it up, throws up the righty hook. Way off, can't get it to go. Bagley with the offensive rebound, gets fouled by Yabusele. He's going to go to the foul with 2 free throws. And that should end the I think it was a 17-0 run there. But either way, fantastic effort from the Knicks all around. Fantastic effort. And it's going to continue. It's going to continue. Alyssa Lester, what's up, Alyssa? Hip Hop B said 3-point ball. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, I said we need the Huck and McCullough. McCullough, I forgot about McCullough. I forgot. I'm past. I forgot about Dottie. I didn't even name Dottie. I'm past the second year, guys. I'm going right to Diawara. Going right to Mo Diawara. Isaiah Garner said, yeah, Yabu trash. Not playing too well. But I do like the way he's operated out of the hub. At the top of the key there is the center tonight offensively, even though the stats aren't necessarily there to show it. Watching the game, I've been impressed with the way he's operated there. He looks a little bit more comfortable making the decision in that situation, which is good. Which is a good step. Brunson bringing it down with 2:40 to go. Brunson up top coming to his right off the Yabu screen. Brunson, in and out dribble, over to Josh Hart. Josh Hart gonna fire another one, line me up. Line me up, Josh Hart. Nothing but net two. Here he is. We were all worried after that first Chicago game, but here he is. Cam Whitmore up top. They swing it over to Kispert. Josh Hart runs him off the line. Excellent job running him off the line. That's what you want to do. Trey Johnson left open for a left wing three. You got to run him off the line as well. Sag too far off of him. Let Corey Kispert drive. I'm not worried about his driving. Hit ahead to Bridges. Bridges almost falls out of bounds. Saves it over to Yabu. Brunson now driving it down. Euro steps down the lane. Stops, turns, pivots. Surrounded by three defenders. Out to Josh Hart. He's going to pump fake from three. Drive it down inside to Yabu. Yabu can't get the shot off because they called the charge on Josh Hart as he ran right into Marvin Bagley as he stepped in there. All right. Tried to get Yabu that easy layup, but jumped into the air. Can't be jumping into the air, Big Josh. Can't be jumping into the air. Mark said Joshua Aaron Hart. Threw your middle name in there. That's how you know you're hooping. When they got to throw the middle name in there, that's how you know you're hooping. Trey Johnson coming to his right. Kispert, right corner three. He's open. He knocks it down. All right. Don't let them get comfortable from the perimeter now. I don't like this. 21-point game. 21-point lead for the Knicks. I don't like it. I'm on 25 plus. I want foot on the neck. Brunson coming to his right, dancing with it against the rookie Johnson. Brunson has it in the post, backing him down, half spin to the lane. Can't get the scoop layup to go. Brunson rushed it. Here comes Bub Carrington, shot out of a cannon, throws the lob up top to Whitmore. He gets a two-handed slam. Down to 19. I don't like it. I'll end the quarter strong. I gave 2 points to the wrong side. End the quarter strong. Maintain this 20-point lead going into the fourth quarter. That's what I want to see. Bridges has it up top, coming to his left, driving it down, kicks it out. Clarkson, he's going to pump fake, now driving to his left, now out to Josh Hart. Josh Hart driving down, middle of the lane, to the basket. Gets the layup to go. Where's my foul call, man? That's right, Josh Hart. Look at the ref. Where's my foul call? Great finish from Josh Hart. Excellent night from Big Josh. Carrington has it up top, coming to his right. Bridges switches onto him, coming off the Bagley screen, kicks out to Kispert. Good contest from Josh Hart. Did not matter as Corey Kispert got the three to go anyway. Now Corey Kispert can't miss. Down to 18. Don't like it. Brunson, give me a basket here as we're under a minute to go. Give me a basket here. Brunson on the right wing being guarded by Kispert. Going to wind down some clock. 30 seconds to go. Brunson going to look to attack. Putting his head down behind the back in the lane. Low fall away in the paint. Hit the front rim. Can't get the friendly bounce as it rolls off the side. Bagley with the rebound. Hit ahead to Kispert. Over to Whitmore. Whitmore pump fakes. Driving it down in the paint. Tries to kick it up top. Bridges with the steal. Bridges stops in the middle of the lane. Steps through. Scoop layup. Got it to go. I'll take it. It was a little ugly, but I'll take it. Back up by 20. Get a nice defensive stop here going into the fourth quarter. I want the 20-point lead going into the fourth. Carrington has it up top being guarded by Bridges. Lock me down for these next 5 seconds. Carrington dancing with it. Over to Trey Johnson. They run him off the line. Good job from Clarkson. Excellent defense from Clarkson. Bagley's got to heave it. Can't get it to go. Didn't get it off in time anyway. Excellent defense all around. Clarkson, Bridges, Yabu there up top along the defense there. Beautiful. 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 Beautiful third quarter. Beautiful end to the third quarter. That's exactly what we want to see. You want my professional analysis right there? Beautiful. That's my professional analysis of what we saw in that third quarter. Beautiful. Beautiful basketball. Right? Beautiful basketball. Like I said, give them to the end of November before we start making grand statements about this team and what the offense looks like. They're shooting too many threes. I don't like the shots they're taking. Mike Brown's rotations are nasty. Don't really like them. Let me tell you something, man. I said give them to November. And what do we look like right now? Start of November. We looking good. We trending up. Now, look, we're taking on the Washington Wizards. We're going to beat down on the Wizards to be expected. Hold on. I just saw something. Hold on. I'll see what I see real quick. What is this? This has to be wrong. I can't believe this. The Wizards have 1 timeout remaining in this game. And the Knicks still have 5, 2, 4, 6. They got 6. They've only used 1 timeout so far. K. Hazy said Josh is cooking. My man cannot be stopped. He has turned into a 3-point marksman all of a sudden. OG Anunoby was 6. Look, first of all, let's look at the distribution of the points so far. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me take a look at it. 16 for OG, 19 for Big Cat, 10 for Mikal, 6 for Landry, 16 for JB. The core 4 doing their thing, all in double figures. Again, love it. And then off the bench, Jordan Clarkson with 15 again. My man Jordan Clarkson figuring it out, y'all. I'm so happy for JC. Josh Hart with 12 points. Josh Hart's figuring it out, y'all. No Deuce McBride in the second half so far. Weird. Weird on that one. But Jordan Clarkson was playing extremely well. Not good. Not pretty good. Not decent. Extremely well. Fantastically, maybe even. So that's probably why we didn't see a whole lot of Deuce McBride in that third. We didn't see any Deuce McBride in that third quarter, actually. K. Hazy said Clarkson fits so well in this team, a true professional. Look, man, sometimes you gotta test the limits of what you're allowed to do within the offense. What's a good shot? What's a bad shot? Sometimes you gotta experiment a little bit, you know? A little bit. A little bit. Gigi said we need Bull to take us to the top. Leon, make it happen. By Mitch. Chichi out there trying to be, he trying to get me riled up again. But you're not going to be able to do it, Chichi. I know you. I know what you're trying to do. You don't even know what team Bull is on. Chichi, if you could tell me right now without looking it up on Google, what team Bull is on right now. You don't know. You know how I know you don't know? Because he's not in the league right now. Start of the fourth quarter. Here we go. Carrington has it up top. McBride does start the fourth quarter. Carrington driving to his right. Up top to Kisper. Kisper fires a straightaway 3 over Deuce McBride. Can't get it to go. Anunoby skies for a rebound. And we'll bring it down the other way. Anunoby has it up top. They get it over to Clarkson. Clarkson, jab step. Coming to his right. Gets it over to Towns. Towns pump fakes. Now driving it down. Play with the left hand. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Bagley grabs it. Towns looking at the ref for a foul call. Doesn't get it. Here come the Wizards pushing it the other way. Carrington has it on the right wing. Gets it over to Johnson. Johnson coming to his right. Clarkson guarding him, chasing him. He throws up the floater. He can't get the floater to go. Good box down and rebound from Towns. Quick hit ahead to Clarkson. Clarkson bringing it down. Has it on the left wing. Now coming to his right. Now crossing over to his left. Clarkson down the lane. Stops. Pump fakes. Leaves it off for Anunoby. Right through his hands. But Towns able to pick it up. Back out to Clarkson. He sets his feet and fires from 3. Off the back rim. Can't get it to go. Anunoby battling for the rebound, but he can't grab it. Good box down and rebound from Bagley there. Keep it away from OG. Quick hit ahead. Cam Whitmore fires a right wing 3. Way too strong. Can't get it to go. Barely grazed the rim there. Here comes Shamet off the rebound, bringing it down. Up top to Towns. Towns gets ran into by Bagley. A little bit of a sloppy start to start the fourth quarter, but I'm fine with that. As long as we can eventually get my man Facom Davier and my man Mo Diawara in the game at some point. Gigi said, come on, Chef Suns. He's not on the Suns anymore, Chichi. I don't think he is. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that man is not on an NBA team right now. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he is no longer employed in the NBA right now. Anunoby has it in the mid-post. Bub Carrington knocks it out of his hands out of bounds. 8 seconds on the shot clock for the Knicks. Knicks currently hold a 20-point lead, 98-78. Oh, we're still looking at box score. My bad. That's on me, y'all. That's on me. There we go. They get it into Anunoby. Anunoby smokes the layup under the rim. Come on, big OG. You got to get that layup to go in, brother. Sar was there to deter him, but still, you got to be able to get that layup to go. Shamet comes up with a steal and a bad pass from rookie Johnson. They get it over to Clarkson. Hit ahead to Anunoby. A left wing 3 for OG. Too strong, can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Koulibaly able to secure it. He's bringing it down now. Leaves it off for Johnson. Johnson over to Carrington. Carrington coming to his left. Shamet switches onto him. Carrington dances with it. Gets it over to Kisper. Leaning in. Gets fouled by Towns. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Okay. You know, I said he's doing fashion, not in the NBA. He's rich, not interested in playing ball. Some people don't look, man. Some people don't have a passion for playing basketball, and that's fine. Fine, go find your passion, Bobo. Go find your passion. Clearly not playing basketball, which is fine. It's fine. It's unfortunate that he grew to 7'2", 7'3", whatever he is, and was kind of forced into playing basketball. Obviously, also has the lineage of his dad playing in the NBA, so he felt like he needed to go and be a basketball player, but he clearly doesn't have the passion for basketball. So go do whatever you want to do, Bobo. Go make a life for yourself. Deuce McBride has it up top after Kispert knocked down both free throws. They get it over to Towns. Towns down in the middle of the lane, kicks it out to Shamit. But they do call a foul on Koulibaly. I think that's his 5th foul. No, it's on Carrington, not Koulibaly. Anthony said it seems like the coach is shortened the bench. He has Anthony. He has shortened the bench. He talked about it the other day. With Mitchell Robinson healthy, Gershon Yabusele is likely to be the odd man out. Towns fires a straightaway 3 on the pick and pop, can't get it to go. Koulibaly with the rebound, shot out of a cannon, and tried to go coast to coast and gets fouled by OG Anunoby on the reach. So I believe he's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws here. I said this is correct. He's super tall and his dad played, but he got money and he wants to do something else. I would way rather he do that than drift through the league. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right? Because then teams are wasting roster spots on him when another guy who's more passionate, wants to be a basketball player, is trying to make the team but can't because they're going to give Bobo another chance when he clearly doesn't want to be a basketball player, which is fine. It's fine. Deuce McBride comes up with the steal on the inbounds. Shamit able to pick it up. Shamit over to Clarkson. Clarkson, trail 3, wide open, can't get it to go. Towns the offensive rebound and gets the putback to go down. 2 more points for Towns, another rebound for Towns. They swing it around. Trey Johnson, left corner 3. He's open. He gets 3 points right there, knocking it to a 17-point lead for the Knicks. Come on, if we want to get Mo Diawara, Facundo Dadier, Tyler Kolek in the game, jamming to pull up mid-range jumper, got it to go, okay. We want to get some of the young guys in the game. We got to build this lead back up to 25, man. Kispert up top. They get it over to Sarr. Sarr driving it in on Towns. Stop, turn, spins. A little fall-away jumper in the paint. Got it to go over Towns. Good move and good shot from Alex Sarr there. Clarkson now bringing it down the other way. They get over to Towns. Towns putting his head down and attacking. Euro stepping down the lane. A lot of contact. No foul call. A blocking foul. There we go. Foul was eventually called. A blocking foul. A little late, but it was the correct call. Bub Carrington tried to slide in there. He gets hit with the blocking foul, so Towns will be at the foul line for 2 free throws. 102 to 85 here. 17-point lead for the Knicks. 8:41 to go. Hip-Hop said, if Clarkson can play like this all season, it's going to be huge for us. I'm really impressed with Clarkson's defensive tenacity these last couple of games. He's really, really bought in defensively with this team. And if the offense can obviously keep up, I'm down with it. I'm down with him. Towns knocks down the first free throw. He's got 1 more coming. I want to see the young guys in the game. So Towns misses the second free throw. Just does not say that. We start missing free throws. Come on, Towns. Koulibaly bringing it down, hands it off to George. Up top to Johnson. Johnson over to Sarr. Sarr out of the high post, coming to his left. Hands it off to George. Swings through to his left. McBride gets left in the dust. Come on, Deucey. Tyshawn George knocks down the pull-up 3 on the left wing. McBride coming to his left off the Town screen. Crossing over. Hands it off to Clarkson. Over the top pass to Towns. Towns going to take Sarr off the bounce. Blows right past him to the rim. Gets another big one-handed poster dunk. Just another day in the offense for Karl Anthony Towns. My goodness. We're just ready for it. Josh Hart over on the bench saying 2. That's the second one. That's the second one. Trey Johnson can't get the scoop layup to go. Or Koulibaly can't get the scoop layup to go as it rolls out of the side of the rim. Clarkson's going to quickly look to attack the rookie. Pump fakes. Has it in the paint. Kicks it out to Anunoby. Anunoby pulls it all the way back out up top, being guarded by George. George providing good pressure there. 10 on the shot clock for OG. Cross court to Shamit. Shamit gets it knocked out of his hands. Ball in the backcourt. Sarr shoves it over to Coulibaly, slips out of his hands, and a turnover. AP reminding people to hit the like button. Appreciate you, AP. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I'm in the stream right now and you've enjoyed the show so far. Please go ahead, hit the thumbs up button and like the stream. I'd very much appreciate it. It is by far, more than anything else you can do, that is subscribing, the best way to support the show. Towns misses another pull-up three as the trailer. Here comes Trey Johnson bringing it down, hands it off to George. George gets it over to Carrington, back to George, back to Carrington. Carrington being guarded by Anunoby, now over to Sarr. Sarr up top, he's going to put up the straightaway three. Well, short can't get it to go. McBride with the long rebound. He's going to bring it down. Slow it down, wait for his teammates to catch up. Has it on the right wing. And a timeout from Mike Brown and the Knicks. Good timeout. A little helter-skelter play there. We're past the 7-minute mark. We're almost at the halfway point. Knicks currently holding on to a 17-point lead here. Wish it was a little bit more so we can get some of the younger guys in the game. But the Knicks are likely to walk away with the victory here unless an epic collapse happens, which, knock on wood, does not happen here tonight. But we will see. This is why you tune in. This is why you stay watching the game. The Knicks scored 41 points in that third quarter. Just absolutely eviscerated the Washington Wizards there. 41 points to 24 points in that third quarter. An excellent quarter from the Knicks. And then he said if Cat can pull that 2 games in a row, I'll never disappoint him again. Come on, brother. Who are the Knicks' next opponent? Who are the Knicks' next opponent? Minnesota. Ooh, interesting. Anthony Edwards going to be available for that game? It is Wednesday, so we have 1 day of rest. We got tomorrow off and then back on Wednesday against Minnesota. It's an ESPN game. Great. I'm going to have to find a way to watch that game now. But okay, ESPN game. Minnesota is... Giannis walked it off. Oh, snap. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter. We're going to have to tune it in real quick. Thank you for that, Mark. Let me see if I can pull it up. Go ahead, just look up Giannis. All right, before I see it, let me pause. I don't want to see. All right, paused. Giannis, up top, being guarded by Siakam, dancing with it. Neesmith on him. Little fall away? Oh, no way! Okay, big Giannis with a fall away jumper? That's crazy way to get beat. A fall away mid-range jumper over 2 defenders by Giannis Antetokounmpo like he's Kobe is a crazy way to get gamed on. That's a crazy way to get gamed on. Shout out Julius Randle. Julius Randle and the Minnesota Timberwolves already in New York. Basketball Jones, Kobe-esque, as it is Kobe-esque. Mark said, you love to see it over Indiana. Absolutely adore it. Absolutely adore that for sure. Basketball Jones said, is CJ McCollum washed? This man has turned in some light work thus far. Yeah, he's pretty washed. Josh Hart's going to fire left wing 3. Magic may be gone for Josh Hart from 3-point range here tonight. He misses that one. Wide right. Here we go. We're back into it. Will Riley tries to feed it inside to Sarr. Gets it knocked away by OG Anunoby. Josh Hart over to Bridges. Bridges over to Towns. Towns is going to pump fake, driving in on Sarr to the basket. Knocks down a running floater with the right hand. And Karl-Anthony Towns continues to dominate over Alex Sarr here tonight. Towns now up to 28 points. Carrington on the right wing up top to George. George over to Coulibaly. Coulibaly driving to his right on Brunson. Euro steps down the lane, throws up the floater, way off. Anunoby with the rebound. Hit ahead to Brunson. Brunson hit ahead to Bridges. Bridges back to Brunson. Brunson down the lane. Scoop layup with the right hand. Smokes the layup yet again. Brunson smoked a couple of layups here tonight. Tyshawn George over to Sarr. Sarr spins in the lane, kicks it out to Coulibaly. Left corner three, can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Bridges ends up with it. Knicks with a 19-point lead. Give me the 20-point lead. Give me the 20-point lead back. I'll be happy with that. Over to Towns up top, being guarded by Sarr. Towns, pass fake, mid-range jumper. Got it to go. Easy. Easy shmoney. Back up by 21. George bringing it down. Over to Coulibaly. He's going to pump fake, drive it in on Bridges. Now back up top to Jones. They swing it over to Sarr. He's going to fire away a three. Going to come up short. Bounces on the rim a couple of times. Josh Hart with the rebound. Josh Hart bringing it down over to Brunson. Brunson over to Towns. Towns going to drive it in on Sarr to the rim. Leans in. Gets blocked by Sarr. Good defense. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to go back to the Wizards. NBM said bench work incoming. I'm hoping so. Mark said not the best night for JB, but it's big cat night. Yeah. I mean, this is the beauty of having multiple guys who can go get you a win, right? Especially on a night against the Wizards. You don't want Brunson to have to do a whole lot. Towns had it going, so we played through Towns mostly. Anunoby chipped in where he chipped in. He had a big night from Clarkson. George falling out of bounds, knocks down a right corner three. Beautiful looking shot from him. But Brunson, didn't really have the touch tonight. He smoked a couple of easy layups, a couple of floaters he normally knocks down. I don't think he's hit a three tonight, maybe one. Anunoby on the left wing, up top to Josh Hart. But you could tell the Knicks are getting much more comfortable with their offensive scheme here. Bridges, low fall-away baseline jumper. In and out, can't get it to stay. Fight for the rebound. Sarr is able to grab it. Hit ahead to George. George bringing it down. Hesitation move. Trying to blow past the defense. Bridges rips it right out of his hands. Bringing it down over to Brunson. Brunson shoves it over to Towns. Towns down the lane. And a blocking foul and one for Karl Anthony Towns. I thought they were going to hit him with the charge, but they didn't. They did hit him with it is the correct call. It is a blocking foul. Towns will go to the foul line for one more. The Knicks are back up by 20. 30 bomb for Big Cat. Yes, sir, Mark. Yes, sir. DCL Love said Knicks could possibly do a 12-game winning streak. One game at a time. I mean, in my mind, it's possible the Knicks can go on a 50-game winning streak. Because I look at it, I'm like, they could beat that team. They could beat that team. So one game at a time. We'll take it one game at a time. Hart said Mo Diawara. There he is, baby. There's Big Mo. Mo Diawara, the first young player off the bench. Yes, sir. A Mo Diawara sighting. Basketball Jones said poor Coulibaly. Hey man, they were really banking coming into this year on a Bilal Coulibaly leap, however small. Hasn't really been there. It's obviously this is only his third game. He did knock down a couple of three-point shots tonight, but for the most part did not play particularly well offensively. We know he's a good defensive player. They need some improvement offensively from him. Huck Porty is also at the scores table. Diawara is guarding Will Riley right now. You go over to Tristan Vukcevic, who, if you remember from preseason, was an absolute marksman. Here he is in the middle of the lane on the little floater off the pick and roll. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Coulibaly's able to steal it. They kick it out to A.J. Johnson, the young rookie guard. Johnson gets it over to Will Riley. Coming to his right, back to Johnson. Johnson sprays it over to a three from, who was that? Corey Joseph? Who shot that three? Malachi Branham. I did not realize Branham was on this team. Towns has it up top. Pump fakes. Gets fouled by Tristan Vukcevic. And that should end Karl Anthony Towns' night with 3:40 to go. Gigi said Cat is a walking double-double. I mean, my man had a double-double at the end of the first half. It's not going to be the end of Cat tonight, as it's going to send him to the foul line because the Knicks are in the bonus. Hara said, I think Carrington will blossom, not a Coulibaly guy. Carrington is kind of... He's been kind of nasty tonight, too. Carrington has also been kind of nasty. Bub Carrington, tonight, he's out of the game now. I'm not sure we'll see him again, as Kolek is going to sub in for Jalen Brunson. That's the end of Jalen Brunson's night. Huck Porty's waiting at the scores table to come in for Towns. But where is he? Coulibaly, 15 points, 7 rebounds to assist. Bub Carrington, in 25 minutes, did not score tonight. Did have 4 rebounds and 7 assists, though. 7 assists to his 5 turnovers. So, not a very good night. Towns does knock down both of his free throws. And Mikal Bridges intentionally fouls. to get Karl-Anthony Towns out of the game. Nice standing ovation for Towns. Give it up for Big Cat. Yes, sir. Absolutely fantastic night for Karl-Anthony Towns. A technical foul? Oh, on the second delay of game for the Knicks. Bakum Dadier checks in. Josh Hart also subbing out. I said we have the young lineup, Tyler, Mo, Dadier, and Huck. And we got it for 3.5 minutes. We got it for 3.5 minutes, Kinhara. If this were Tom Thibodeau, the starters would still be in the game. Vucevic knocks down technical free throw. A.J. Johnson bringing it down for the Wizards. Johnson gets it over to Vucevic. Vucevic hits Malachi Branham backdoor for the easy dunk. Tyler Kolek bringing it down. Kolek hands it off to Dadier, back to Kolek. Kolek hands it off to Diawara. Diawara coming to his left off the Hug Porty screen. Diawara, the foul line. Inside the Huck. He's got positioning. Gets stripped by Vucevic, though. Here come the Wizards pushing the other way. Vucevic kicks it out. Branham, back to Vucevic. Being guarded by Diawara. Vucevic's going to back him down. Little fall-away jumper over him. Splashes in nothing but net. That man is a walking bucket. That man has a sweet stroke. Diawara hands it off to Kolek, back to Diawara. Diawara inside the Hug Porty, gets it knocked out. Another bad pass from Diawara. Vucevic jumped the lane, driving it down. They got to play Vucevic. I don't know why they're not playing Vucevic over Bagley. That makes no sense to me. But Diawara ends up fouling Vucevic out on the fast break as he was going to the rim. So Vucevic coming, we're going to get a full timeout here, but Vucevic will come back from the timeout to shoot 2 free throws. Hey, Hazy said, coach them boys, Mike. So tonight ended up being exactly what we expected was going to happen. It was a fun, spunky game from the Wizards early, and ultimately the Knicks just took out the hammer. We're just like, this is what a real basketball team looks like. Woof, and knocked them out of the game. Mark said, Brooklyn's still winless. During this timeout, we can go around the league. We know this game is over. We could also go through the box scores, but real quick, let's go around the league first. So the Jazz are leading the Celtics by 7 here in the fourth quarter, 4 minutes to go. Interesting. The Knicks will beat the Wizards. Mavs, Houston in a pretty close game. Pistons, Grizzlies. Pistons being down on the Grizzlies right now. And then you got Kings, Nuggets in a pretty close game so far. The ones that have already wrapped up, Timberwolves beat the Nets, to be expected. And then Giannis gamed the Bucks on a Kobe-esque fall-away long 2 buzzer beater over 2 defenders. Mark said Jalen Brown losing more hair most likely. Listen, I got respect for Jalen Brown because he did do a live stream where it was pretty funny. I saw the clip where he tried to call LeBron, and he was like, look, man, he left a message. He was like, look, Bron, they call me lacking. I need your plug. I need your hair plug for the hair plugs. You know what I mean? I need the plug for the plugs. Kind of funny. So, buzzer beater said, are the Sixers for real? I think the Sixers are very, 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 very good. I don't know if they're great, but they can be scary. We'll see what happens when Paul George comes back. They still don't have Jared McCain. But, yeah. Yeah. Mark said, just shave it, brother. Listen, man, just shave it or go get the surgery. Now, he's in the middle of the season, so he can't go get the surgery. Just rock a baldy for the season and then come back with a full head of hair next year. We're not going to question it. We're not going to question it. Go ahead, book the airline to Turkey, get the surgery. It's fine. It's 2026. Go get the surgery in the offseason. It's my issue with LeBron. It's my issue with LeBron. Just go get you're a billionaire. Go get the surgery. What are you rocking those little glued up wigs for, LeBron? You got too much money. Go get that surgery. MBM said Philly could be a problem with the chip shake rate. I don't think they're going to be a championship contending team. They're a spunky playoff team. They are. Mark said, I'll still question it. Listen, it'll be a talking point. We'll all know what happened So I won't necessarily question it, but it will be a talking point for sure. Vucevic knocked down his first free throw. Misses the second one. Battle for the rebound. Shamet picks it up. What's Shamet doing in the game? Shamet bringing it down. Gets it over to Kolek. Kolek fires away on the right wing for three. Can't get it to go. Huck Porty snatches a rebound over Vucevic. There you go, Huck. There you go, big Huck. Hands it off to Kolek. Kolek gets under the rim. Kicks it out to Dadier. Dadier driving to his right. Kicks it back over to Diawara. Right wing three from Mo. No hesitation. Can't get it to go, though. And a rebound for Branham. Over to Johnson. A.J. Johnson up top to Vuk. Vuk hands it off to Branham. A sidestep left wing three. Splashes it nothing but net. What are we at now? 100 to 14. Oh, my bad. 100 to 114. Kolek crosses over. Down the lane. Snakes it. Middle of the lane. Pump fakes. No look pass over to Shamet. Shamet on the right wing. The high post. Driving it down in the lane. Puts up the floater. Can't get the floater to go. Huck Porty battles for the offensive rebound. Up top to Kolek. Sprays it over to Shamet. Wide open left wing three. Can't get it to go. Anthony Gill with the rebound. Hit ahead to Will Riley. Riley bringing it down. In and out dribble. Out to Anthony Gill. Gill's going to pump fake, drive it down to the rim. Gets a little scoop layup to go. It's a 12-point game, y'all, with 1:30 to go. We're going to be all right, though. We're going to be all right. Huck Porty has it up top. Young guy's got to get a basket here. Hands it off to Diawara. Diawara down the lane. Draws the foul. My man Mo Diawara knows what's up. He knows what's up. He's going to the foul line for 2 free throws. Yes, sir, Mo. Yes, sir. Big fan of Mo Diawara over here. Jay Hazy said, our guys really suck when they play together. The young guys, yeah. Yeah, not they're figuring it out. They're figuring it out. Mo Diawara at the foul line. Comes up short on the foul line. Come on, Mo. Get your points, Big Mo. Get your points. Kinar said, Hattie needs to go back to Nassau Coliseum and collect Dr. J while they're at it. Mo Diawara. Whoa, with the side of the backboard on the free throw, Mo. Get the nerves out of the way, Mo. Come on. Come on, Big Mo. I can't be talking you up for you to break 2 free throws like that. Branham down the lane gets fouled by Mo Diawara. He looking like a rookie out there. He's looking like a big old rookie out there. Mark said G League kind of stuff. Yeah, once the G League season starts to kick off, I want to see Mo Diawara down there. I want to see Big Mo down there in the G League. Allergy starting to catch up with me. Starting to catch up with me. It is a 12-point game. Malachi Branham. Missed 2 free throws? Missed 2 free throws. Shaman coming to his left off a Huck Porty screen. Up top to Kolek. Kolek sprays it over to Mo Diawara. Diawara coming to his right. Back up top to Kolek. Kolek driving it down in the lane. Loses the handle. Picks it back up. Tries to hit Dadier, cut into the rim. Huck Porty picked up the loose ball over to Kolek. High floater. Got it to go. Kolek with these crazy high floaters, man. Got a nice soft touch around the basket. Will Riley gets it over to A.J. Johnson. Johnson's going to drive it down in the lane. Scoop layup. Can't get it to go. Huck Porty rips away a rebound. Hands it off to Kolek. Kolek hit ahead to Diawara. Diawara on the right wing. 35 seconds to go. Oh, Diawara. Quick crossover to his right. Driving it down. Cross-court pass. Shamet open. Left corner 3. There you go, Landry Shamet. We leaving here with something. We leaving here with something, y'all. Mo Diawara picked up the assist. He picked up the assist. Beautiful pass from Big Mo. I think Mo Diawara is going to be a big part of this team moving forward. Dadier snatches a rebound. Dadier, I'm not so sure about anymore. I think Kolek has a spot. He's been impressive in the small minutes that he's been able to get as we dribble out the clock here. This game's over. McCullough, we haven't really seen much of this season. He's on the 2-way contract. Has not suited up. He said Kolek and Huck are the only ones who showed anything this time. I mean, Mo Diawara with a nice cross-court pass. We're leaving here with something. But yeah. Huck Porty, some solid defense, some good rebounding. Mark said MVP cat tonight, absolutely. Mike Breen brought up a good point. During the Chicago game, Jalen Brunson came out early in that first quarter, set the tone, and was like, we walking away with a win today. Karl-Anthony Towns did the same thing tonight. Came out, said we walking away with a win tonight, even with the big 4-point play at the buzzer at the end of the first half. Sometimes you need your stars to just be stars and get a victory for you. Karl-Anthony Towns with 33 tonight. Look at the box scores real quick before we sign off. Right, not too much to analyze against the Washington Wizards. It played out exactly the way we thought it would. The Wizards, obviously not a very good team, a tanking team this season. But if we go over to the Knicks real quick, OG Anunoby ends the night with 16, 6, 2, and 5 steals for OG Anunoby. My man is a kleptomaniac. Karl-Anthony Towns, 33 points, 13 big ol' rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals for himself as well. Mikal Bridges with 10 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, continues to be 3 steals and 2 blocks, by the way. Continues to be very consistent. Not scoring the ball as much, but doing a great job of being a connective ball mover out there. He's been fantastic. Another good game from Mikal Bridges. Landry Shamet filled in as a starter tonight very, very well. 11.5 rebounds, some solid defense from him. Jalen Brunson, 16 points. Didn't have to score a whole lot tonight. Did move the ball pretty well. 9 points to 2 turnovers tonight for Jalen Brunson. Excellent night for JB. Even if he didn't really shoot it well. What did he shoot it? 6 for 17. Shot it terribly. And still pretty good night for JB overall. Yabusele in his 14 minutes with Mitchell Robinson injured tonight. 1 point, 3 rebounds, missed his 2 shots, both of them threes. He's got to find where he fits in. I thought tonight was a good process overall. He played well out of the high post. Didn't get any assist out of it, but I thought he was setting good screens. I thought he was making good decisions, and I thought he really understood what his role was in the offense tonight. Just got to start getting him knocking down shots and more comfortable with his spots on the court. Dadier, Diawara, Hukporti obviously came in at the end. Same with Kolek, but star of the show off the bench, Jordan Clarkson, 15 points for him. Thought he was pretty fantastic. He led the charge off the bench initially. Josh Hart eventually got in on the action. 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists for Josh Hart in 26 minutes. Look, man. Look, in 26 minutes, not 40, in 26 minutes, Josh Hart is still giving us exactly what he normally gives us. 12, 10, and 5 for Big Josh off the bench. It doesn't have to be 40 minutes for Big Josh. He can give us that in 25 minutes. And even Deuce McBride, in only 14 minutes tonight, knocked down to 3 earlier in the game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He was solid. Nothing too stand out for Deuce McBride. But when you have Clarkson and Josh Hart rolling the way that they did, you didn't necessarily need it. Roger G-Wall said, is that 2 in a row? That is 2 in a row. And we got a nice big game coming up on Wednesday against our old friends, Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. We'll see if Anthony Edwards, who's missed the last couple of games, is going to be ready to go for his game at the Garden. You have to expect that he will, because stars love to play in the Garden. But if not, it's still going to be an incredibly emotional game to welcome those 2 guys back as usual, as it has been going back to last year in the preseason and whatnot. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Let's go to our final screen real quick and give a shout out to everybody. You see, I had to make this a scroll to shout everybody out because we got so many new members. Thanks to Amy with the 10 gifted memberships the other night. MBM said, appreciate the front row seats, Captain. Appreciate you, MBM. Appreciate you, K. Hazy, Hip Hop Beats, Keena Hara, Roger G-Wall, Monique Johnson. Appreciate you. Hattie, of course. Appreciate you. And shout out to all the members on the channel. We're going to start with Amy with the 10 gifted memberships the other night. Amy, Big Rud, KCLMG Ace, Tatsu Spam, Take Cowboys, V. Harris, Sharon McLean, Big Mike, MBM, K. Hazy, Christopher Smith, Gasman, Bossman KP, Darren Michelle, Johnny Miller, Jose NYC, Roger G-Wall, OG Rue, Susan, Miguelito Hernandez, Shot College, James Sumler, Ellie Mooskov, El Tigre 2031. Knicks will be 2026 champs, David Miskelly, and my man Mark. Of course, I appreciate y'all. Got to shop every single one of you out every single night because it's very much appreciated for the support that you guys give. Doug Fresh, Namar, Mark, K. Hazy, MBM, of course, everybody who came out to hang out with me tonight. Remember to brush your teeth before bed, stay hydrated, and get a good night's sleep. Good night, everybody. I'm out. Bye.